online, whether you're speaking on the TV or anywhere. Because you are at your work. But when you have done something that you should highlight as commendable, this is the kind of thing, because we never suggested that you sack anybody. And he came to sack all of them. Virtually all of them, retain only one person. Who done them last? So that is it. That is instructive. We should learn from that. So whatever we feel, if a journalist is doing irresponsible, because what they are doing is very dangerous. They want to set the nation ablaze. When they started suspecting Coup, creating suspicion around or something, if we go by the Coup now, do we now go ahead to say CN Musa is the one that was planting the Coup? We are not going to, it's going to be a disservice to Christopher Musa, because he did one of the best things he could have done for Nigeria. So that story from Sahara Reporter is the most irresponsible thing anybody can imagine to do. So anytime we see such story, let us pull it down, condemn it. Story of Coup cannot come by rumor.
So we should separate it.
Yes.
You know, we have curious mind. We know we are curious.
No. It doesn't answer any question. You see, when we see people peddling lies, saying they fly a minister abroad, saying Tinubu is trying to replace Wale Edun because Wale Edun is in coma. Something that did not happen. So they now be giving us conspiracy news, and we listen to them, and we listen to them to our peril. We are taking a very dangerous risk. That is the honest thing that we should tell ourselves.
You don't have to listen. People that will listen will listen. You can listen to wherever you want to listen.
No. Ramsey, I'm not. You don't need to listen to me, you yourself. You don't need to bother yourself.
You don't need to read Sahara Report. You don't need to read Sahara News.
I
you
don't
can blog
listen
them.
to me. Ramsey, don't bother yourself talking to me. I don't talk to fools. I don't say you're a fool, but if I'm talking to people that have sense, they should listen to what I'm saying. This kind of comment doesn't correlate with what I'm saying. I'm not demarcating Sahara Reporters. I am saying, if a news medium is known for fabricating stories that did not happen, we should not listen to such people. If you want to keep listening to them, continue. It's your choice. But for the society, it is not good. While Edun was not incapacitated, was not in coma, Wike was not flown abroad. That same media reported it. So when we continue to build our conversation on those suspect stories, it is dangerous. And that is what it is. If you want to continue to be feasting on this, continue. They will turn you to a fool that you want to be. It's your choice. Thank you.
There's something that is running through my mind. Maybe they had to fabricate, maybe they had the intel that, okay, Tinubu is going to change the service chief. So they now had to mischievously fabricate that Coup thing, you know, so that, you know, we can say that, yes, we can say that, oh,
they did not have any premonition. Stop joining on it. They did not have any. Don't secret anything. No. We don't need it. We don't need it, honestly. Let's be serious. Honestly, we don't need it. That's, you see, when we don't condemn bad thing, we condone it. And what I said, to rely on Sahara Reporter that said a minister is almost dying.
But can we look at Mr. Bamidele, can we look at the scorecard of the past generals? This one that are changed.
Yes, now let's look at their scorecard. We can look at their scorecard. None of them did not do well. No, I don't know one that did not do well. I don't know one out of the three. I don't know one that did not do well. I don't know. If you know, you can tell me. People that follow the news. Thank you.
Ramsey. After Ramsey, over.
Yes, so yeah, I've heard thank you. I've heard Basharon listed movement of the
Sir, this Peter Obi, I've told you, this Peter Obi, anybody who becomes president of Nigeria and does not give a right of place, I'm not saying an appointment, or Peter Obi, Peter Obi will remove that person from office in another election. Mark my words.
So are you saying this same wave?
This same wave will not stop.
Be repeated.
This same wave, this Peter Obi, the people supporting him, the Peter Obi that I know, after this general election, they will continue.
Even though the next cycle of elections is in 4 years.
I'm telling you, those guys.
Of life preservation and property preservation is not achieved, then the changes again will not make sense. So let's hope. We're hoping, and we will wait. We will judge. That is what we will do. Thank you.
Omoba.
Thank you very much. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, depending on where you're expressing from. Please and please, if you are not the host or the co-host, please do not interject me. I repeat, if you are not the host or the co-host, please, in the name of God and everything you hold dear, do not interject me. Thank you very much. First and foremost, I want to appreciate the President and the Commander-in-Chief of Armed Forces for making such decision, because for those who know, it is expected. That's number one. Number two, I also need to, probably maybe advise us, because I don't want to believe that some of us don't know. Because sometimes we assumed that it is the job of the military to literally run internal security. Like I always say, is the failure of the Nigerian police force that led to the overstretching of our armed forces. Because literally, I'm not sure that there is any state in this country that you will not see one military operation or the other. Out of the 36 states, maybe 4 or 3. I'm not sure. Maybe, but I'm not sure, because nearly all the states you will see one operation, this operation, that, joint kinikan, and it is overstretching our armed forces. The Nigerian police force, and I believe that those who are old enough remember that the mobile police force was specifically set up to tackle some issues that are beyond the conventional police force. But all in all, it is just the total failure. Let me just use that word, total failure of the Nigerian police force that led to the armed forces being stretched, bringing in the civil defense to come and do literally police work. For the outgoing service chiefs, I really want to thank them for their service. They've done their best. But maybe some people don't know that that position is not by rank. It is by appointment. Because they are literally serving at the pleasure of the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, who can decide to hire them in the morning and fire them at night. So in his based on, I want to believe, reports on his desk, based on advice from his NSA and the Director General of that agency that wears suit, and the DG of the Defense and Intelligence, you must have come to a conclusion that it is better to rejig these positions, and let's see what the new appointee will come on board with. Looking at the names, Bashar, I'm not too sure about the state of origin of the new Chief of Armed Forces, Chief of Army Staff, rather. If I don't know, because most of his autobiography or most of the boys that have served under him, some will tell you he's from Nasarawa State, Some will tell you he's from Kwara State, but the YD in his name is telling me he's from Kwara State. The YD in his name is telling me from Kwara State, but most of the boys that have served under him, some people will tell you.
He's from Kwara.
Okay. So, anyway, I'm still waiting for the likes of
sorry,
Big
Omoba.
Daddy.
Sorry, Omoba. Pashonu, which part of Kwara is it from? Is it from Ofa or Muaro? Because that
It was not
is
specified, but
spelling.
it just Ilorin.
No, Ilorin don't bear that wide like that. Okay, continue, Omoba. Sorry.
So, I'm still waiting for the likes of Big Daddy, Malam, and their likes, who the other time we are running mad, crying about the appointment of service chief. Now that the president and the commander-in-chief of the armed forces has rejiggled it, I want to hear their opinion on the new set of service chiefs. For
Bishop agenda see day now. We see how to Yoruba now. They go there now Yoruba. They could see pray agenda for this one now.
That's why I'm saying I'm waiting for them to hear their opinion on it, and I have my reason for saying I'm waiting to hear their opinion on it, because there's a popular saying on this street by Gawat that we all know what we are doing. So I want to hear their opinion on this particular stuff. The new chief of our naval staff is from Kano. The new chief of air staff is from Uji local government in Enugu State. So we expect that they will come with new ideas, and let's see how we can move this nation forward. Once again, I really want to appreciate the outgoing chief service chiefs. Sir?
Omoba, please, let me ask one question. I don't know, because I've been listening and maybe distracted at the same time. General Olufemi Oluyede, where is he? Where is he from?
He's from Ekiti.
Ekiti.
He's now a
Okay,
four-star
because
general now.
nobody is talking about it. And
He's an Ekiti man.
because nobody is talking about it, that's why I'm like, I've
Because
not heard anybody talk about
no, because he's literally just got promoted from chief of army staff, a 3-star general, to a 4-star general, chief of defense staff. So that's why literally nobody is talking about him, because he's somebody we know. He took over when General Lagbaja died, so he was the one that took over from him. So it's not as if he's new on the scene, but he's just been promoted from a 3-star general to a 4-star general now to head defense. So it's not like we don't know him. We know him. He's not new on the. So that's why people are likely not talking mentioning his name anyway, because he has let me use the word old wine. Yeah, I think he came in October 2024 thereabout. Yes, October 2024 thereabout. So let's say a year ago, he became chief of army staff a year ago. So anyway, my own is the president has made his decision, but let me say this, even if it will put me in trouble. Mr. President, sir, I really so much appreciate your effort. But sir, the Nigerian police force to help us and look into it. I know the state police is on the front burner, but even if you have the state police, the federal police too, sir, let us look into it. I won't say more than that, sir. God bless you. God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. God bless the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces. God bless all the service chiefs. And God bless every troop on the front line. God bless you all.
Okay, MO Truth. MO Truth. MO Truth, are you there? We can't hear you, Emo Truth. Okay. Okay. Since we can't hear Emo Truth, go down and come back. I will accept you back. Okay. There's this guy. Mex is in, right?
Yeah, Megzin, good evening.
Okay, go ahead.
Good evening to house. Yeah, funnily something I was expecting, the changing of the service chiefs. And I really don't know. I think it's a good thing because I even think when that news broke, that's why I feel there's something that needs to be done about fake news. It cannot just be allowed to fly just like that. I'm for freedom of speech and the likes and all, but at the same time, we cannot just let people keep running mad. They have to be some form of how will I say it, some form of control, or there should be a line, especially things that have to do with national security. If normally when something like this, when news like this break about attempted coup and the like and blah blah blah, the truth is if there was nothing to it in the first place, the news alone and the reaction to the news can even push others to even start trying to make plans. These are things that have happened before. That just the idea being floated out there, almost like a pilot test to see how Nigerians react if something like this happens. And you now go online and see the way Nigerians react, that they won't even care if it happens. Then this might even be like a test run for it to actually happen. That's how this thing works. So I know that as someone said earlier, the president is privy to more information than us. We are just scouting for news online and for people we know and the likes. But the security apparatus have more access to news. They have more access to these things, and they want to believe. They know, even not the president, the chief of staff knows what's actually happening, because I know all security information ends up on his table, and what gets to the president, it goes through him. So it's a good thing. So we're kind of behind the former chiefs. They did well. They did the best way they can. I for one believe security challenges in Nigeria as a result of us and our kind of people. If you don't get better as a people, we'll keep fighting all these kind of things. You can't put a stop to crime, but it's crazy. It's actually crazy. But my concern is these Shah reporters and the likes and people that just publish completely fake news without any iota of evidence to back it up. This shouldn't be allowed to continue. We can't keep running like this, because people keep saying ignore, don't follow it. The truth is, one day these things will lead to something that we won't be able to control. It can become a snowball at some point, and we won't be able to stop it. Just like a rolling stone, we'll just keep going. But now we are escaping it. We are escaping. It's not leading to any serious harm. That's why we are looking at it this way. But the day someone comes and says something crazy, I keep using the example of the bomb blasting. I know it was bomb blasting of Maryland, showed you then. When I was in my house as a young boy, though, when we were told that that Nigeria has been invaded, they are attacking Nigeria. I'm sure this is one of the things that led people just keep running. People that ran into that Okiafa Canal. People just propagating what they don't know. And in fact, it was actually the scaremongering that actually led to more deaths. I think over 500 or so that died in that canal. So when something has to be done about it. We can be for freedom of press, and at the same time, we should be able to curtail madness. But this is getting to the level of madness. Are you?
Okay, I'm back now. Can I go ahead?
Go.
Can you give me just 1 minute? I just
So-
have a 30 seconds comment on what the person just said now. Can you allow me? Just 30 seconds.
Allow you.
Sure.
I think Martin, so if it is by what I said, we are not saying government should not do anything about fake news, but we as citizens should not rely on it for anything. Government, the NBC, and all the editorial board, guild of editors, they have responsibility to hold people spreading fake news accountable. And I want us to avoid linking that fake news to the change of services. So that's exactly my own caution. Because if you give them rope that, yes, they said there was coup, that is why they sacked them, we will be speculating and still be imagining other things. And all those kind of tendency is dangerous. So the responsibility to hold them accountable for what they have done is that of Nigerian Broadcasting Station, the all these other they have agencies of government who has to do it. And the one that is not capacitated enough now, which is regulating online news media, there is no instrument of state for now. And they are working and say how they work on that too, so that people can be responsible for what they share. Thank you.
Easy, I greet you. I greet everybody. Uncle Wambele, I greet you. I like your submission. I agree with you. Una no see agenda to cook by una sef. Na agenda wey some people don cook, chop remain. Na im una come dey warm, dey microwave, dey put for inside oven. Abeg, abeg, abeg. Na wey una suppose reason as the agenda go take favour
So
una,
we
make
wan
una
cook
cook
the
una own soup. Una come dey go
Omo
chop obedient
Naija,
food. Sir?
Omo Naija. Before the agenda go start, make we run dey cook the agenda fast fast because e dey okay make you dey prepare. Make na why I dey use my head dey calculate,
No,
dey try
na
dey
make
think
una
about
cook una
where the
own
agenda go come from.
agenda.
So
Una go
I
cook
never
una
kill your
own
cook.
agenda. Una no go dey help dem cook their
Make
agenda.
Omo Naija, make una
Uh-uh.
leave agenda. I mean,
There are so
make una. I
many
know
reasons why
Omo
service
Naija,
chiefs could have been sacked. Pick one and center
Omo
your own
Naija, hold
agenda
on.
on it.
Omo Naija, hold on. I beg. MO2 has experience in security, so let's just get his own before we even talk about agenda. MO2, please go ahead.
Jọ̀ọ́ torí Ọlọ́run, I am just doing this for hobby. I don't have experience, so because you people can put something in my mind, I don't have experience. Anything I tell you on spaces is public information. I have always told you people.
You dey fear? You dey fear?
It's not about fear, it's a matter of fact. Before
Tell me
GS
is what
started,
you
how did
know.
I
It's
get
what you know
intelligence
you
in
are
something?
saying.
The problem
If
is
you are saying
Nigerians don't know how to hide things, don't know how to read between the lines.
MO2, you are saying what you know, which can be you can defend it. So why are you
At
scared?
what
Eh,
time,
Why?
ìgbà
what
tí ìwọ
time,
náà máa wá
as a
sọ̀rọ̀ bíi pé o
patriotic
tẹ̀lé wọn lọ ibi tí wọ́n ti lọ pa Osama. Why they no go call you experience?
oh god. Look, on the 11th of this month, I made a tweet.
I no talk am.
Hey, wait, nah. When you people were busy doing cho Christian genocide, some of us too were putting ear for ground. I made a tweet and I said, all I'm going to say is, God bless Nigeria. God bless our republic and our democracy. I won't say anything else. I pinned it on my profile and I put Tinubu's face on it and military equipment. Days later, not up to a week, we're hearing murmurs of coup. Finally, some people caught up to the information. But my country has said something, taking a position. Defense HQ, disregard anything like military coup. They are only punishing, 15 or 16 officers for not following protocol and not being in their right position. Guys, read between the lines. Not following, not in their proper. If they're not following and they're not in their proper, what are they doing? But your country has told you, and as patriotic citizens that are responsible and security minded, it is your duty to agree. In this one, no, it is not a matter of choice, really. If you really are a patriotic Nigerian, no matter how much you hate the government or hate anything, it is your duty as a Democrat to believe so, because that's what they are publicly saying. Because if you believe otherwise, you are going to fan the flames of people who want to support the coup and give them the impression that they have public support. And I don't think any of us want to have that. So, as far as I'm concerned, there is no coup plot. But I will privately tell some people to rejig some certain things. And I tweeted it and I said it on spaces many times. Now, they have rejigged. But I am not sure that, all those people deserve to have been kicked out. But I understand why they kicked all of them out. And the only person that I think that, I really liked was Musa, the chief of defense staff. That was the only one I kind of liked because he said things that were very, 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 very true. And it was also helping our image as a country. Because Musa's presence alone was killing a lot of things with Islamization of Nigeria. He's a full-on Christian. I see this man in church. The videos are out there with his wife. He was doing a lot, image laundering, and he was really helping. He understood public relations. Let's be real. So the new chief of defense staff, who so happens to be from Ekiti, I will give him a chance. I'm not going to, because I like Musa, denigrate this new guy. No. But let us also give credit to Musa where credit is due, and also criticize him where we need to criticize him. You understand? So this Musa man, he served this country. Let us also say thank you for your service. None of the people in the top hierarchy that have been replaced have not gotten any public information or under the table information that they were complicit in the coup. But again, no coup happened. They're just rejigging because maybe due to incompetence, or maybe because maybe they don't feel their, the morale is high enough. So that could be the reason. And we should stay within that parameter and not make it about the C word. The new group of people, I've already tweeted it out, even under the president's tweet, and I said their respective religious backgrounds. I stated it because I know some people want to run that agenda. So before the agenda agents, I've already tweeted it. And I said, Lieutenant General W. Olu Yede is Christian. Major General W. Shaul, I don't know how to pronounce his last name, he's Muslim. Rear Admiral Abbas is Muslim. Air Vice Marshal Aneke is Christian. So you can see 2 Christians, 2 Muslims. So before you people want to run agenda again, that one is in the gutter. I don't know the ethnic backgrounds completely. I don't know the one
No,
that is
it's
from
three
Ekiti.
Christians. It's three Christians, help truth.
No,
Director
it's
of
2. It is 2.
intelligence.
No, it is 2. It is 2 Christians, 2
Director of
Muslims. I did the
intelligence that I
research.
retained is a Christian from Niger Delta from
I'm
Isaiah
talking
Kwaba
about
of
the
Cross River.
military. I'm talking about within the military hierarchy. I'm not
The
talking. I'm
director of
talking about
intelligence,
the
this is
four.
not part of them.
No, the 4
You
service
know a military
chiefs.
man?
No, I'm talking
Okay,
about the 4. I'm talking about the 4 service chiefs. The 4
okay,
service chiefs:
okay.
Lieutenant General, the Major General, the Rear Admiral, and the Air Vice Marshal. Those are Air Force, Navy, Army, then the Chief of Defense, which is the overall order. So those are the ones I'm mentioning. I'm not talking about people that are in intelligence. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Because that one is kind of separate. It's not military. It's not necessarily military. Like it's like you saying CIA is military. No, they don't. It's not military. So I wish these people luck. I hope they've learned lessons from the previous group of people. Because under this administration, the first few years when it was necessarily rosy, we have seen an uptake in kidnapping, banditry, mostly banditry attacks. Mostly banditry attacks. It was also under their watch that we now have Lakroawa trying to spring up, and another terror group that I can't really pronounce their name, but it starts with W, coming in the middle belt. It is also under their watch that the factions that form Boko Haram and ISWAP have now come to an accord, and they said now they're going to do joint operations together. So those are 3 negatives on their part. Okay? Another final negative are the unfortunate civilian casualties due to airstrikes that even the president and the vice president had to acknowledge. Let us also admit it. Okay? So those were their errors. I hope the new set of people are learning and they're willing to do what is necessary to avoid such errors, even though some of them may or may have not been avoidable. That's what I'll say on that. Now, what were their successes? Their successes are, now we have Daikon. Some of them are about to start producing NATO-styled rifles. They're not NATO rifles, but they are NATO-styled, meaning they are following the same standard as NATO, meaning they're not going to just go with standard AK-47s anymore. That's a plus. We're getting new jets. That's another plus. Under their watch, we're having a $2 billion military acquisition deal from the United States. We're going to get some new attack helicopters and all those other things. That's a plus. My own concern with my own negative to them is they are not focused on air defense, because all those people that are flying out our mineral resources, all those people flying in military equipment under our noses, if we had total coverage of our airspace, none of this would be a discussion. Although, to their credit also, they've been talking to Norinco. Norinco is a China consortium, partly government owned. They produce military equipment. Most of the Chinese military equipment you see, Norinco has a hand in it. So they were looking for air defense. I think they also look for air defense. Some people are bidding. Netherlands is bidding. France is bidding. Turkey is bidding. China is bidding. Russia too is also bidding to supply us. But I think we should just go with China, honestly, or Turkey. China or Turkey, honestly. Don't go with anything from NATO, because the moment America sanction you like this, that's the end of your equipment. Your equipment is useless. So, these new guys, what I want from them is they need to create a rapid response force. The unfortunate attacks in Kwara were very sad, were very unfortunate. We need people that can respond if the moment an incident is happening. Yes, it won't take you 30 minutes. 30 minutes is forever when you have people on bikes running, pillaging, raping, and setting places ablaze or kidnapping people. We need people to be able to respond to conflict within conflict zones in a matter of 10 minutes or less. I know it's not going to be easy, but they need to work with the police force. Unfortunately, speaking of the police force, the government has not shown that it's trying to change anything with the police force yet. I understand that state police is going on, but even some certain things by now should have been changed, and I have not really noticed the change, and I'm worried. So I'll still wait on the police force matter, because I think that maybe most of the structural change might come when we finally have this state police. But I think they need to expedite this state police discussion. They need to expedite it. And they also need to have a backup plan if it gets defeated and not being able to pass, because they still need the states, 2/3 of the states, to assent to it. So if it doesn't pass, then the federal government needs to create a temporary version of a state police. You understand what I'm trying to say? Although following the constitutional order and laws. I'm happy that there was forest guards, but forest guards are not under military, so I can't really give that credit to them. But all this Lakurawa needed, that's a demerit to them. Musa was a very eloquent speaker. Only time I saw him on Al Jazeera talking internationally, he was eloquent. He explained things perfectly. If you were trying to be an honest person, he explained. Let's be real. Musa explained. He was one of the most eloquent speakers when it comes to military affairs. And that's why I gave him 100% when it comes to PR, because nobody normally should get 100%. But I gave him 100% because I know where we are coming from. And he spoke well, explained things properly, and even subtly made references to some of the challenges that we face internationally. Who are those foreign countries sponsoring these terrorists and bandits? The weapons they get, they have origins from certain countries, but because it doesn't have approval to say it, because it's at the end of the day, this is politically what the Nigerian government should say, that no, this country is responsible for letting these smuggled weapons to come into our borders. And I think by now Nigeria needs to start calling out those countries. Why aren't you patrolling your own borders? Your incompetence is affecting us. The incompetence of the Libyan it's technically two governments, but they have three governments. But okay, let's acknowledge two governments. Their incompetence is one of the reasons why a lot of those Gaddafi weapons are being smuggled throughout the Sahel. The nonsense that the UAE and Turkey and some other partner nations are doing in Sudan is also affecting us, because there's a lot of gun smuggling going on in the Sahel. And it's now coming to deposit in Nigeria, because Nigeria is the end goal, because Nigeria is so profitable. Number two. Number three, why is Nigeria so profitable? Because we are paying bandits and negotiating with bandits. And it's still happening under this previous servicemen watch. I don't think that's okay. And I'm hearing something. I saw Pastor Okeze made a tweet that said Nigeria is no longer going to be negotiating. I need the president to come out and say it, that we're not going to negotiate or give any quota. Let them kill us. You need to have that kind of mentality. Because if you have that mentality, they will not see you as safe haven. They are preying on your fear. They are preying on the political pressure of us, the people. to put on the government to negotiate with them because we can't stand it. We as a people too must be strong and reject them and say, if you want to kill us, come and kill us. It's not an easy thing to say. And most of us, we can say it, but if they kidnap our own relative, we all know what we'll be saying. You get the point. But the truth of the matter is, something has to give. Something has to give. You must make sure this environment is so hostile to these bandits, to these terrorists in the north, and also IPOP too. So I wishing these people a lot of luck. I hope that the government has done a psychological and ideological probe for this new sheriff's chief. And there's a reason why I emphasize on ideological. Ideological meaning they understand that they are in service of the people and its democracy. Going back to the alleged C word. Because yes, they caught it, and kudos to the intelligence community. Kudos, because I put my ear on the ground, I hear the little that the crumbs I can get that's publicly available. But kudos to them, because I was speaking to my ex. She's from Madagascar. She's into all these kind of things like I am, and she was telling me live how Madagascar was falling to a military coup and how the Russians were low-key sponsoring it. But she can't be too angry because even she, while she was protesting against our government, they told the military to fire on them, which is true. And this was also happening around the same time the alleged coup Nigeria was trying to, frustrate it. So when Madagascar was happening, Nigeria too was also dealing with its own. Thank God Nigeria was successful. In Madagascar, it's a completely different kettle of fish, and I don't really understand their government structure, so I won't pretend like I do. But she was trying to tell me that she wished that the military didn't necessarily take over. But, they are powerless. But one truth is that France is practically going to go, which has been a burden on their heads. But bringing in Russia is what made her concerned. And that could have been Nigeria's story. Because look at the entire Sahel. Not a single coup has not had the Russian support and low-key protection. We would have been like that. Remember, a year and a half ago, in protest in the north, they were waving the Russian flag. The chief of defense staff publicly on TV, Al Jazeera, go and check it on YouTube, said that he's a diplomat. He will not say anything to the Russians, but we're not happy. And you could see the rage in his face. Because the Russians too are also kind of destabilizing the Sahel, which is compounding our problems in Nigeria. But one thing we must at least take away from him is this. We must police our borders. We must police our borders. If we have to put a wall or a fence, or do what they did in North Africa, where every kilometer there's an observation post. Do you understand? Observation post is very similar to what they have in Israel. If we have to do it, we must do it. Because it is from our borders that these people run in and run out. Also, I'm also firmly in support of any chief of defense staff that is advocating for the Nigerian government to start doing extracts in other countries. Yes, for our own protection, and we Nigerians must support it. Because we cannot have a situation where we're chasing bandits and terrorists. They now run across to the Niger border, but the Niger too, they can't respond. They're not as equipped as us. We have the most equipped air force in the whole region, sub-Sahara. The only people who have better air force than us is Egypt and Algeria. Nigeria has the best. But, we can't chase them across the border and Niger is not doing anything, or Chad is not doing anything. It takes them forever to respond. I think we need to bring them to the table and make sure that they agree that, hey, if we see them coming close to our border, coming in, give us the permission to bomb them across your border, or chase them a little bit within a specific kilometer across your border. Let's say maybe a 20 kilometer radius, so that it's not like they will have enough time to respond to us, to make them feel comfortable that, oh, we're not doing a prelude to an invasion. We will sign it. But if they don't agree, then we will do it unilaterally. Because at the end of the day, these people need to protect us. And because of their own incompetency, this terrorism and gun smuggling has gone terrible. Because if all those countries surrounding us were on their top game, I can bet you Nigeria will not lose sleep. But it is what it is. We must work around our neighborhood. But I know that it's going to be a diplomatic nightmare. And I don't envy on Minister Tuga, Minister of Foreign Affairs. But look, at some point, these killings need to stop. So I congratulate the former chiefs of defense staff that did their best, although they had some failures, and there is an uptick in this terrorism. Let us admit it. Let's say it like it is. But we must commend them for serving the nation. I don't have any evidence to prove that they were part of the officers allegedly that were trying to plan the coup. There's no evidence to that. But as a Nigerian, there's no coup. These people are being replaced because it needed to be rejigged. Thank you very much for listening to my long-winded submission. So have a lovely day. Please let us not be using Sahara reporters to confirm intelligence news or anything about security. Most of the time, they are lying. I have always told people to use Zagazoga. Zagazoga doesn't bang this thing. I always confirm, I double check. They always are on point. Anytime they bang it, they will come back and correct themselves. Use Zagazoga, use Military News Nigeria. I have many of them on this platform. They know exactly what they are saying. Please follow those people. Sahara Reporter should not be your first go-to when it comes to anything Nigerian military, because they always paint it in a negative light, even when we actually had successes. There was a recent success in the Middle Belt. We killed about 60 terrorists. But how did Sahara Reporters say, oh, in a conflict between terrorists and Nigerian military, death on both sides? But that was not true. That was not true. If anything, only a few people got injured in Nigerian military side. But we eliminated 60. 60. And we covered weapons. And also imprisoned about 40-something. That was a major victory, a major operation. We're talking about almost 100 and something fighters, potentially. Eliminated 60, captured 40-something. Recovered all their arms and ammunition in the Middle Belt. So people that come to say that we didn't do anything, we are. The problem is most of us don't care. Even when Sahara Reporters tweeted that thing, he didn't get a lot of retweets until they changed the narrative to say death on both sides. Then you want to look at how many retweets and views they got. Because we love to bastardize our own service people that are dying in the front lines. I'm also happy that under their watch, before they left today, they have now discussed it in the Senate that they're going to increase the pay for the armed forces. I'm happy. I've been advocating for this for 2 years. What they are being paid is pathetic. It's pathetic. A civil servant should not be any more than a soldier. Today, it's no. I don't care. Even if you're a civil serving person, and I understand that, a soldier that is putting his life on the line is risking more than you. Does not mean that both of you are not equally serving the nation. But somebody is putting his literal blood on the line, his life, his future. I think we need to compensate them more than what we are compensating them today. Thank you very much. Have a lovely day.
Thank you very much, Ruth. Just one thing. Uh, the chief of defense intelligence is an army personnel, right? Our equivalent of CIA is NIA. The defense, they're still part of the
Oh, is that
military.
who Yeli was saying?
Yeah, the chief of defense
Okay, then maybe I
intelligence.
didn't listen. Maybe it was
Yeah,
just me not listening to him. You are correct. Because once I heard you say you are correct, I don't really need to confirm that. That was my bad. Maybe I didn't listen to him. I thought he was saying NIA. I thought he was saying NIA. So
yeah,
that's
no
why I said, oh,
problem.
that's equivalent to our CIA. So sorry. All military branches, Air Force, military, Navy, they all have intelligence units within themselves. So I agree on that. So
Yeah,
sorry
no
about that.
problem,
I
no
only
problem.
was focusing on the 4 that was announced. Thank you very much.
So, yeah, moving on. Easy, I don't know who they next. If you allow me use my instincts, I will marginalize people. Hmm. If easy no day here, I will just go ahead and marginalize Una.
Go ahead.
Did you call me?
See this uncle. You won't use
Someone like that,
scope.
did you call me?
You won't use scope. I never call you, but as you have
Okay.
unmuted your mic and you have used the scope, we'll say why not. And after you, we'll go
Okay.
to Uncle Godman. I'm keeping my Uncle Basharu for last because. This is my uncle Bashor. So go ahead.
Maybe. Okay, no
Omologo.
problem. I won't take too long because I'm having a meeting. So I don't really know what triggered the president to do the change, but I also believe that there needs to be a quick response, especially when banditry was already coming into Kwara State. We won't sit back and fold our arms and look away, because if Kwara State is taken or ravaged, then the whole of Southwest, where I'm from, you know what it means. You know, that's number one. Number two, I've also lived in Kwara State, so it was so emotional for me that day when I saw that story. I lived there. I did my primary school in Kwara State, precisely in the barracks. That's the military barracks. You know, so it was very, very emotional for me when I saw that pictures coming out from Kwara State. So, and going by what the president has, the way the president has done his appointment, I want to believe that he's looking in that direction. Some people here are saying that maybe the chief of army staff is from Kwara, precisely. So I also don't want him to also feel the new chief of army staff and the CDS. I don't want them to feel the Southern Kaduna people. They must be protected, no matter what, no matter how it goes. They must be protected on their land. Nobody should take their land from them. The bullying must stop. I don't know wherever it's coming from. It must stop. So they must be protected on their land. And also the Benue people also, you know, that's that one on that perspective. However, I still want the president to find a way to expedite state police. They should put it in the law that, okay, states that cannot afford it should not bother. It's not compulsory, but states that want to do it, they should be able to go ahead and do it. Take, for example, like Kwara State.
Like a minimum money requirement for you to do it. Then if you can't afford it, maybe federal government will help you.
Yeah, what I'm even
With
proposing,
oversight, of course.
what I'm even proposing is that they should have something like a trust fund, like Lagos State is having. If you have a trust fund, you don't need to stress yourself. Let rich people in your state, whether they are living in Lagos or anything, let them donate to the trust fund. Let's take in the case of Kwara State as a case study. Yeah, they have many of them, rich people.
They just did the trust fund today for the police. Like they copied the
Yeah,
military
I'm
trust
coming.
fund. They did one. They just
So,
announced it today.
take for example, Kwara State. Take for example now, if they have a trust fund, they have people that have integrity that are managing it. The state will contribute, let's say maybe 50% to it, and rich people. We have a big LA that is living in the US, and all of those people, they should be able to contribute to that trust fund to make sure that their state is also secured. Many people have people all over the world. You know, so there is always a way they can get money to fund their own state police system, and then maybe federal government can down put 20% into it, and that way they will not be owing those state police. I mean, they will always have sufficient fund to run their states. You know, so that is my own proposal on that. You know, then also because for me, I feel that until state police come into place, employing people that are owners of the land, they are what they call that thing, umbilical cord were buried in that land, and their ancestors and umbilical cord were buried in that land. They take ownership, they find a sense of ownership of that land.
They are more ferocious.
Eh?
They are more ferocious. They have more to lose.
So exactly, they have more to lose than for you to go and bring one military from maybe let's take Imo State to come and protect people in Kwara State. You know, he's just going to mark his time and return. So that is that. So let the state police be the first line, first. You know, first. Then we can now talk of we can now talk of the national police, the federal police, and if they need help, then we can now talk of military. That way, they will not be overwhelmed. some states might not need to even recruit more than maybe 100 at the start, or maybe 200 at the start. It's not compulsory you should go and do 1,000, so they can just start with 200, train them properly, give them pistol. They don't need to carry RPG or anything, just pistol, and they are good to go, and buy them good vehicles, and they are good to go. They will marshal everywhere, so the states must take ownership. You put it in the law, they can't carry AK-47, they can't carry this, but they can carry pistol. Those small guns, they can carry those ones, So it is within that control. That's that one. Then, so back to the military. I still want our military to recruit more people. Why? Put them on farm. Beyond even providing security, let them be the people. America did this way back, I think, in the 1960s or 50s. I read the story somewhere. They were military people, but they were marshals. Put them on farm and let them farm. So let's now see who wants to come and attack them in that kind of places. We have so many empty lands all over the place, and people are crying for hunger or something, So is the state Nigeria is currently recruit a lot of military, put them on farm, let them farm, and let them guard it themselves and feed the nation, So I'm thinking of that way. That's in addition to all of the things Emo Truth had said previously, because he was just making all my points I wanted to make. So thank you so much. I appreciate. Do have a pleasant afternoon, everyone.
Yeah, thank you. Good afternoon. Can I talk now? So, in my opinion, if you can hear me, can you guys hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Go ahead.
Thank you. So,
Yeah,
in my opinion, I don't see what the changes that were made. I don't know if it's about a coup. Personally, I don't have enough facts to trust a coup. I cannot prove or disprove a coup, generally. But the guy that spoke before the immediate last one, I mean, from his presentation, I would basically say that government or somebody in government has briefed him to come and tell us a story they want. Honestly, I don't believe that Nigerian government is fighting terrorism. I believe that people.
Wait, I'm a government official. Easy, they never pay my salary. I beg you, pay me.
Let me make my reasons.
Pay me.
Terrorism in Nigeria, people behind that terrorism are in top echelon. If you arrest one terrorist, you can get enough information that can take you to the root. And when you fight the root, you solve the problem. For like over 10 years, we've been battling all series of terrorism and no big shots. We've not seen the roots. We're just killing people. These guys can just send people and kill them and protect themselves on top. Even the kidnappings that is happening in Nigeria.
Is anybody speaking?
I'm speaking.
Come on, Nigeria. Yeah, big good man, we can hear. I be God man. We can hear you, God.
Yeah. So I think the people behind, whether it's Boko Haram, whether it's all of them, even the normal kidnapping, are in top level of police, DSS, army. The way they operate and get away with it. I mean, we've had instances where military checkpoints will be here. By the time the kidnappers wants to come, the checkpoint will disappear. Immediately after the kidnapping, the checkpoint come. Okay, I'll give you a story. The one that happened along Kaduna, Abuja, where they targeted the train, where the richest guys sat. They targeted that coach. So they got people that can pay them big money. And some people was giving accounts where they had to go and drop 100 million to the kidnappers. He said along the road, they saw some military checkpoints and they say, give us 100,000. When you get to the kidnappers, tell them you're giving us 100,000. And that happened. So when they go to the kidnappers, they say at 3 points, they've given 100,000. And the kidnappers say, okay. That means those military guys at those checkpoints.
Sorry, my brother. Sorry. I don't like interjecting, but this story you are telling us, is there any evidence to back it up, sir?
I read an interview on a newspaper.
So mention the news. Hold on, sir. Mention the newspaper, the date was published. So, because we should not
But do you remember?
we should not
Okay,
be
sorry. Do you remember?
promoting fake news
Do you
here.
remember? Sorry.
We don't promote fake news
Do you
here.
remember? Sorry. Okay. Do you remember the Abuja Kaduna coach that was attacked?
Yes.
The Abuja Kaduna
Yes.
coach. Do you remember they attacked the richest coach? They didn't just
There is
attack
nothing like
someone. They
richest coach.
attacked
Maybe I
them.
should explain who is talking to you. I work with the Minister for Transportation. That thing happened under our watch. So don't tell me there is a richest coach in that. In fact, as a matter of fact, if you are in Abuja, I can literally carry you to that same. Hold on, sir. That same train that was attacked. As I'm talking to you, that same train that was attacked. As I'm talking to you, is currently parked at Idu train station in Abuja. If you are in Abuja today or tomorrow, I will drive you down there. There's nothing like richest coach among
They
that.
did not target where the rich guys. They didn't
Omomba, Shata was so funny. The people that haven't perpetrated.
Please let's just hear him. I don't even get his train of thought yet. So please, good man, let's take it one at a time so we can hear each other. I think that will have a conversation. Godman.
Okay, I'll be muted. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, go ahead.
So to me, when you look at security, internal security, I don't think that your best tool is actually the army. I think it's the DSS, the people that can go underground, mix up with them and get information. So army is basically when you've identified them, you now want to fight, you send the army. But if you want to take them out from the source, it's the security. Maybe if it's army, is the security part of the army, the intelligence part of the army, not the fighting part of the army. So you need to get to the source. You need to get to the source. And I mean, how can we be suffering something for 10 years and we don't know where they are coming from? We've not been able to pick out any of the source. We've not been able to catch a big fish. That tells me that people in government, politicians or anybody, and of course I suspect international intelligence agency from every angle. I mean, people that want to bring the country down. Yes, but it's the duty of the government to identify them. And solution is not money. Solution is just discipline for people to know this is your work. If you're the presidency, if you're the chief of army staff, look for competent people that can do the work. First the work and pay them maybe enough salary, maybe take home salary, something that is worth it. So that is how to rule a nation. It's not by playing around. It's not by deceiving ourselves, playing games and deceiving ourselves. We're basically deceiving ourselves and we're not serious. Nobody is serious in Nigeria. So we need better get serious as human beings if we want to have a good life. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Good man. I don't know if anybody wants to ask you any question, but
Easy, not
I have a counter.
Please let us clarify some things you said. Emo Truth, please, 1 minute. Let us clarify some things you said. You see, you can do this somewhere else. People like us will just keep quiet and just laugh. I was with Matum on a space today, and they kicked me out. They kicked me out because people were lying, and the host was urging them off, and I was just laughing. Before I was laughing, they kicked me off. See, let me tell you something. If you don't know a thing, you ask question. Anybody that have taken the Abuja to Kaduna train will tell you there is nothing like a richest coach in that train. Nothing like that. I can literally post videos of that same train for you. Can I continue, Easy?
Yeah, go
So my question, how do coaches, they don't segregate them based on maybe the ticket is
Hold
the same
on,
amount.
please. Hold on, please.
I don't want the topic to be derailed also. Please, let's just mind that.
No. Okay, let me quickly, just give me like 2 seconds. Let me leave that side. Now, the simple truth is this. You talked about we've been fighting insecurity for 10 years, this, that, blah, 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 blah. You see, I just watched a journalist on TVC, just a couple of minutes on the journalist hangout, and he echoed the same thing. I'm laughing. You know why I'm laughing? Is it that Nigerians, we don't like to read, or we just assume something and we run with it? Your army is not fighting an established army. They are fighting a ragtag army that will eat, run away, change base,
eat, run away. And to make matter worse, some of them are even staying within the community, and these communities are protecting them. During President Goodluck Jonathan, this general from Abia, the chief of army staff, what's his name? Azubike something. Some people from leaders from the north ran an agenda. And what was the agenda? They said the military attacked a village and leveled the village, and that they kill civilians. Mind you, that same village is notorious for one thing alone: ambushing of the troops. These same leaders kept quiet all these days, but this day the army said enough is enough. United Nations, ICJ, ICU, emergency. I think you should sit down with an army or an army officer. Let them explain this thing to you. It's not as if Nigeria is going to war with the Republic or Cameroon. No. If I ask you, okay, this Boko Haram,
So my question,
hold on,
so
sir,
nobody's funding
please.
Who is funding them?
Please,
For 10 years, we can identify who is
please,
funding
let
them.
me
That's my question.
speak, sir. Please.
They equip themselves, fight and go. No, answer
See,
me.
good
They fight
man,
for
God,
themselves.
Emo
God
Truth,
man,
Tell us
be
about
please,
the
please,
funding.
please,
calm
please,
down and be
please,
educated.
let
Don't
me.
be so. Just relax.
You want to know the problem we are suffering now? Go back and read about the fall of Gaddafi in Libya. Most of the fact, 99% of the weapon these bastards are using today came from Libya. Look at the stretch, that Sahel region, from Chad, Niger, Libya downward, even Sudan. Come to Mali, Burkina Faso, Northern Benin Republic, Northern Mali, and the rest of them. All of them are suffering the same problem.
Omoba, if you would allow me hang the ball in a very awkward place, I just want to
No,
get a different opinion from the last speaker. I'm sorry, I think Godman. I'm not sure. I wasn't looking at the names, but I want to know your perspective on this free Nnamdi Kanu protest, just as briefly as possible.
How
As
Niger,
briefly as
why you take
possible.
my brain?
For me, my perspective, I don't trust the people organizing the protest. Nnamdi Kanu has not been of good character. I mean, number one, Buhari pushed him into terrorism. Number two, Buhari pushed IPOB into terrorism. Then, I don't know. I'm not pro IPOB. I don't believe in what they are doing, but I know very well that it was when Buhari outlawed them that they started the terrorism aspect. They were basically peaceful guys. That's all I can say. The people pushing for him to be released, do I trust them? No. Do I want him to be released? I really don't care, but I don't think Nigerian judiciary system is fair in its own. Nigeria is a complete mess on all angles for everybody. So that is my
Should they
perspective.
free Kanu or they should not free Kanu?
I think there's a way they can free him and it solves more problem. There is a way. Sit him down. So there's a way
The
they can
question
free
is
him that
simple: should they free him or they should not free him?
Emo Truth, can you hear me?
you don't free somebody that has killed people. You don't free people, but you free
Emo
based on
Truth,
condition. You don't just go and free him. If you free him,
can
you start
anybody
killing
hear me?
people. What will you do?
Big L, I can hear
Big
you.
girl, we can hear you.
I can't hear the guy. I,
Just
I
mute
can't
first.
hear the guy, that's why.
Okay.
So I said they can
What,
free
what,
Let's
him
move on. Let's move
based
on.
on
I just wanted to get that more perspective on that issue. So thank you very much, Uncle Godman.
So, Niger, before we move on,
leave
he
him,
said
leave
some
him.
things that were
Emo2,
misinformation. Please. I just want to clarify it.
don't worry. Let's hear
Intelligence
from
does not
others.
work the way.
Emo2,
Okay,
hold
sorry.
on.
I'll wait.
Let's hear from others.
I'll wait.
Omo Naija, who is in it?
Who did I say was next? I said Omoba, then who was supposed to go after Omoba? Says I think Uncle Basharan. Uncle Basharan, please go ahead. Uncle Bashorun, you did there. Abi, you are too busy being the INEC chairman to have our time
Um,
again.
not yet. Thank you so much. I spoke earlier, and I don't have much to say than say that, I mean, point us to where we were coming from before now. Our dear president has shown that he is all about, you know, listening to the yearnings of Nigerians and taking those, tough decisions that is expected of a leader. And whenever those decisions are taken, it makes them even better than, you know, it was before such decision. I'm saying this because I think this is the very first time in a long time that we are having active and competent and qualified, thoroughbred career security personnel that are still very much active in service to head our various security agencies. For the avoidance of doubt, let me just take our mind back. Once upon a time, Mr. Matthew Seyefa, a thoroughbred intelligence officer that have been in the service for over 30 years, was appointed when Mr. Daura was fired from the job when he attempted to carry out a coup on National Assembly. And that was a national embarrassment that National Assembly members who are carrying out their constitutional duties, the DG SSS will now unleash the person armed to the teeth to go and barricade the National Assembly. And we are seeing senators, brave senators and House of Reps members jumping through, climbing the fence to gain access into their office. And when he was sacked by the acting president, then Professor Yemi Osinbajo, when Buhari came, after a lot of pressure, he was going to resign that sacking, but for obvious reasons, to lessen the criticism, he decided to go and bring a retired and tired Mr. Bichi, who tried within his ability to coordinate the affairs of the service. And then Sheyefa was involuntarily retired. Somebody that have given his entire life to the service. He got to that pinnacle of his career, and for political reasons, he was involuntarily retired. Mr. Matthew Sheyefa was involuntarily retired from the service to pave way for a retired personnel who had retired many years before that appointment. The rest is history. At the NIA, the Nigerian Intelligence Agency, we had a certain Mr. Ahmed Rufai Abubakar who couldn't pass a promotional exam to the directorate cadre in the service and was also involuntarily retired. And then President Muhammadu Buhari came in 2018, and the excuse that were told was that it was because of his experience, and then because he had worked with President Muhammadu Buhari 2 years before his appointment. And prior to his appointment, he was essay to the president on foreign matters and international relations. That was his portfolio. But President Muhammadu Buhari of blessed memory went and brought a retired deputy director that could not pass a directorate exam to come and preside over the affairs of National Intelligence Agency, where you have a lot of other directors who sat for the same exam, passed the exam, and were doing well and well positioned for the appointment. But you went and brought a deputy director to come and preside over the affairs who wasn't even qualified in the first place because he couldn't pass the promotional exam to the directorate cadre. The rest is history. We saw the same thing at the Nigerian custom when President Muhammadu Buhari went and brought a certain Hamid Ali, a retired colonel in the Nigerian military, who is not a career custom person. He has zero knowledge of the office, who also subject, the custom to nothing but ridicule, that cause unnecessary public glare and shame when, when he was invited to the Senate, and then the Senate instructed him, as the Director General, Corporal General Custom, you must appear in your full uniform regalian. And he blatantly refused. He showed the National Assembly the middle finger. I told them to go and jerk off on their own whatever. And nothing happened. So if you now compare where we used to be and where we are now, when you look at individual have been appointed or that was appointed less than 4 hours ago. We wrote out some of the biographies of some of them. These are thoroughbred. These are people that are actively in service, particularly the new chief of army staff, Major General Waidi Shuaibu, who led the Operation Hadinkai, command. I think he was also the general officer commanding sector 7. Who had a lot, all of the successes that they are celebrating against the fight against insurgency, the killings, the annihilation of, these bandits and terrorists. Major General Wahid is actually, the brain behind it because the one, controlling the operation, room. When you look at, unfortunately, we didn't go ahead to look at all of others. When you look at also the Air Vice Marshal Aneke, when you also look at his profile, you see that it's very intimidating. This is somebody, and he's still very active. When you look for the courses he has done, he's an active pilot that have had over 4,000 hours of flight, to his name, and other, very impressive CV that we should all be proud of. The same thing is, when you look at all of them, most importantly, they are all very active. Very active, and the feel from even that constituency where they are from is a positive one. Somebody sent me a video. Is actually an ADC to a current, one of the, is an ADC to a brigadier general, and then he posted on his WhatsApp status celebrating it. And I now made a comment. Then he now sent me some videos in about 5 different cantonments. Unfortunately, I might not be able to, to share unless if eventually maybe if those videos are, similar videos are coming out, where they are jubilating, not just the army, everyone, the Air Force, the Navy, every one of them are also celebrating their appointment, which shows that, these are people that are part and parcel, that the people, the officers and men are pleased with. And for the very fact that they are celebrating their appointment is should signal that, first and foremost, the primary objective, which is, as regard their acceptability of these leaders, by their officers and men, is, I think that should give you, an insight into some of the positive is going to come out from this appointment. We have seen several appointments, and when these appointments are made, moralized, the constituents that are concerned with demoralize the campaign. So, not on I believe those appointments were some of the worst decision of the president, and they were not made in consideration with the interest of the nation and national security interest. Political, or than somebody that have the ears of the president, manipulating the man and trying to play a trick on the president, and he succeeded. And then we saw those very embarrassing and unmotivated, needless appointments, being made. If you also look at the spread, in terms of the heterogeneous nature of our dear country, when appointment is made, the first conversation is always around who from, it is spread. The chief of the new chief of defense staff, general, general now. First, to be precise, the chief of air staff, VM Aneke, SK Aneke. I hope I SK Aneke is from the southeast, from Enugu State. The chief of army staff, Major General Wahidi Shuaibu, is from the north central of Kwara State, which is another strategic, because it seems there is an attempt now to destabilize, particularly the two most peaceful states in the north central, which is Kogi State and Kwara State in recent time. So just like the appointment of, the immediate past chief of, defense staff was timely, and it restored normalcy and put an end to the needless and senseless killings from his constituency where he comes from in southern Kaduna. We're also hoping and confident that the same thing, the same feat is what, Major General Waidi look the track record. We are also confident that that is the same thing is going to also replicate. And then the last note, the other one, I can't the name now. The name just skipped my memory. Sorry, and his designation is from Cross River State. The south. And then of course the last but not the least, being from the northwest of Kano State. So there's no way you can come here and paint any nonsense agenda that tribalistic. So it is correct. When you take it a step further, you look at the qualification, their track record. You also give it, a notch that look. I mean, these are round peg in round holes, and I can only hope that they are going to stop. They are not going to continue where the immediate past service chief stops. They are also going to learn from the mistakes of their predecessor in office, and they are going to improve the security situation of our dear country, which is their primary responsibility. They are appointed to coordinate efforts to ensure and safeguard the lives and properties of Nigeria. That is the primary reason why they are appointed. They are apolitical. They don't have a political affiliation. There is no political interest other than the interest of the national integrity and the sovereignty of our dear country, Nigeria. And everything outside of this is just gossip, and we shouldn't even waste our breath. president not the needful. They've been told, oh, when they are not doing enough, reject them. When situation will come again, there wasn't failure. There is no, I mean, when you give appointment to people and then just seeing enough effort or their agitation of the people that they are supposed to work for, I think as leader you should develop that listening ear. That is one of the skills of a good leader. You listen to the cries of your people and your complaint, and you try to, to correct it. Unfortunately, that wasn't the case. That's why we're having, some former service chiefs spending over 6 years in that position without almost anything and very disorganized. It was disorganized, uncoordinated. We're having a situation of, who can do what, to impress which leader of the cabal, of the section of the cabal, who
Basharu,
can push. Yes.
Basharu, that was the most uncoordinated team we have ever experienced in this republic.
Yes.
That is Yatan Kenyan team.
Yes.
The most uncoordinated. They were fighting within themselves. They were not subordinating
they are
themselves to one
not.
another.
Exactly. They are not working for the interest of Nigeria. They are working for the interest of whoever is, whatever cabal they belong, and the leader of the cabal. What they are just doing is trying to outdone each other, outdo each other. You see,
Uncle
what that is.
Basharu, let me ask you a question. Do you see this change of service chiefs as a preamble to a greater cabinet reshuffle to come?
Absolutely. I said it earlier.
Because we've still not seen cabinet reshuffle this tenure.
Yeah.
Niger, can I help Basharan to answer this a little bit?
Yeah, let me just round up. Yeah, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
No, Basharan, can I just have a
All
quick
right.
brief moment just to answer that part? Just a brief moment. The alleged C word that the CHQ of Nigeria said did not happen. Those kinds of things don't just happen only within the hierarchy of the military. They also have civilian support. So it will not be surprising if certain appointed or civilian people, after some investigation, might have been found to be compromised.
I beg you, I
So
beg you, I beg you. Now you say me they know angle everything on top say C word. Now you say they call am C word. Now you still like say question, okay, could this
look, I
possibly
said
lead
that
to
as a
bringing
patriot,
new
I will
ministers
publicly
in?
say it
You
did not happen.
automatically
But
link am
privately,
again
I
to
will
C
say do
word.
whatever you can.
Are we
I
in
said
private?
publicly it did not happen.
What is
Privately,
this? What is this?
we are privately talking.
On a recorded space.
We are privately talking. So I didn't
Emo
say
truth.
anything.
Emo truth, hold on. Emo truth, hold on, please. Did anybody remember that the president actually gave a marching order to defeat insecurity by December 2025? Do you guys remember that
Yeah, I
statement?
remember.
I think, to me, that was what I've been pondering on. Maybe what the president is expecting them to do, they've not really achieved a certain percentage that will see them to retain their positions. So he has to let them go and bring in another people and give them target to get that thing done. I don't know. I may be wrong, but I believe.
Big Ali,
There was a recent
Ali,
cover up they are trying to cover.
Big Ali, the target he gave them was about theft, not insecurity. He gave them targets on defeating oil theft, not wiping out your insecurity out of Nigeria within a time limit.
Insecurity, Mr. Bamidele, insecurity was involved. It's not only oil theft.
Oh, we forgot to. Let's give credit where it's due. The oil theft went down under the previous
Yes, now
guys,
it
so
was oil
let's give
theft
credit.
that he gave them time. He didn't give them timeline on their insecurity. It was
No, I'm not talking about the timeline. I'm just saying that the oil theft really went down under their watch. So
yes,
that's credit.
I know now. I'm just correcting that notion. He never said after all that. You don't do that. No person will do that now. That people will stop committing crime in the society. You only get response. But the oil theft was a coordinated thing that they know this thing can be taken out. And they reduce it to BRS minimum. People losing 97%, they are gaining, they are losing 2% today. In fact, it's as true as not even available again. So that's exactly that's the one that they gave them timeline, or not insecurity, that we don't want to hear any terrorist attack again. Are they defeated insecurity in the US? Nobody will do that now. Nobody can achieve that. That will not see crime again in the society. No, that's not possible.
But the question is, what type of crime? Do you understand?
That,
So we don't want to see the type of terrorist or banditry
that's
again. That one can
exactly.
be achieved.
So that is exactly the point I'm saying. That it was the statement can you easily misconstrue it when we say defeating security within a timeline. It was unbuckling. See how Musa came out with the news now. As he led Mr. President, he said President gave him a also date, but I'm giving you guys 6 months. He gave them a shorter deadline. And the way they fought under the former Mele Kyari was coming out to be clapping for them every other day. They did a lot of various changes in that sector. So, and that is exactly the point I'm saying. It is not about general defeat of insecurity. We have a lot of free sector. In fact, our insecurity problem is dry-headed. And citizens are compounding it by making all false narrative, promoting distrust, mutual distrust. This is the problem we have. You can say Juridia genocide. It is
Una
Fulani
say
against Fulani.
una no later allow Uncle Basho no round up like this. It's like no
No, now,
balance.
no, now. Basharu never. You see on now. You can. I'm sorry. I just want to just correct that thing. So don't let us try to find reason why Mr. President treated. It is, it might be a just I mean, not too helpful academic exercise. What should tell anybody? So that should tell anybody is that we have a president that work on the appraisal of the team. So anytime he can change anybody the next day. Don't let go and find reason. If he has a mandate with them that he does not disclose. There's a mandate that he does not disclose. So when he's speaking for his appointees, all of them, look at the day they ask him when the journalists, when they have a media chat with journalists the other day, when they said some ministers should be changed, he said they should tell him the one that they want him to change. Because he's keep the scorecard of every one of them at his fingertips. If he is going to sack anybody, we will not go and be looking for the reason if he doesn't tell us. Sian Musa and the rest of them that led that team, they did exceptionally well. All of them. Those 3 people that left. I can't see anything wrong with any of them. I'm sorry. So that's just it. Thank you.
So
Can we commend Basharu for waiting?
yes, so
I think every day the middle belt keep getting representation. Basharu has become
it's
a more
so
calm and peaceful
it's
human being.
necessary. The interjection is an educative one. So as I was saying, rounding up, yes, the question you asked, absolutely. That is where the office, the essay to the president on the documentation and performance now, Madam Adiza, as where she coming into this discussion. I think it's long overdue that the government should begin the review of the performance of every cabinet member and appointee, and anyone that have performed below par should be immediately released to go and face their private or continue from whichever part of career that they were operating before their appointment. um Government appointment is not anybody's entitled position. When you are not doing well, you are that's why it is called appointive position. It's only when you are elected, whether you are a horrible performer in office, you just have you have that guaranteed 4-year term, for your constituent to tolerate you and your shambolic performance. But appointing position, you can be hired today and fired tomorrow. The president reserves the right, and in the interest of the country, he must, checkmate the performance and the loyalty of the appointees, not just moving around within Abuja and blowing siren and moving in convoy, beating traffic light and then all of that. No. Yes, to answer your question, it is, it signals, a greater reshufflement that is coming in. And I hope it comes in early enough so that most of the ministers and head of MDAs that I don't even know their name, and I've not seen anything that they've really done since their appointment. They can, be shown the door, and you bring in other people, you rejig, and you rejig your cabinet for optimal performance. That is what I'm expecting on a broader stage as far as the government of the day is concerned. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Uncle Bashir. Uncle Easy, can you see permit me to extend the scope of my question just small to ask about specific performance of some specific ministers? If Uncle Bashir will be willing to address that, because I know it is a bit out of our topic. So, Uncle Easy, with your permission, Uncle Bashir, what do you think about the Minister of Sport in particular? And I'm bringing up the Minister, I say Minister of Sports, Minister of Youth. And I'm bringing him up in particular because his predecessor was removed, after complaints on social media by some of us that she was inaccessible, inactive, and she wasn't doing the job, or she wasn't satisfactory. So I want to know what we think about the new guy that is there now and his performance so far.
Honestly, personally, I think Mr. Ayo Wisdom is just there. For me, I've not seen any difference between him and his former boss that was, replaced, that he replaced. There's absolutely I've not seen any significant change or any since his elevation to the substantive minister for youth development. I haven't seen any. If I have the president ears, I think I would advocate for a reshufflement in that very sector. If it can be, you can get someone else, and then if he must serve in your administration, then he should return back to his former position, which is the Minister for State. If at all you must have him in your cabinet. But for me personally, I think there is absolutely no difference between him and the person that he replaced. There's happening in the Ministry of Youth Development that wasn't happening when the former minister was in the office. I don't know whether it is poor funding, but the Ministry of Youth has always been considered as a redundant, unattractive ministry, and it shouldn't be. Because when the majority of your population are youth, you're talking about the youth being the future of the country. There is no there are a lot of initiative that is working on, but I've not really seen the impact. Maybe I've been too harsh on him, but for me, I've not really seen anything spectacular that the minister have done. Not just only him. I think there will just be maybe two or three outstanding, four outstanding ministers of the over about 40 of them. For me, which everybody else, you know them by name and you know their ministry. Apart from that, I don't even know the name of our minister for information. I don't even know the name. There are a lot of people I don't even know their name. I don't know the name of our
Alhaji
minister for
Lanre
education.
We get
Isa
Minister for
Onelu.
Information.
So I
Alhaji
don't know. That
Lanre
one is no.
Isa
That one is
Onelu.
DG
He
NOA.
is also the
Onelu is DG
Minister of
NOA.
Information.
No,
I thought that
Ahmed,
seat was
Mr. I think
vacant.
it's one Mr. Muhammad that is our minister for information. No,
I thought the seat was vacant.
No, it's not. It's not vacant. We have a minister for information. I don't know the name of our minister for interior. There are a lot of ministers that I don't even know them.
Interior is Bumi Ojo. Information is this journalist from Niger. This UK man.
What about water resources?
Idris is information.
We can cook. If you want to talk about ministers, I go cook some people. I'm just looking. Voila. I'm waiting for that KPI, sha.
So
Yes,
you know
yes.
my own
I'm waiting
automatic
for it as
suggestion
well.
like this. Uncle Idris should be replaced by Malam Lanre. Since when we're talking about Minister of Information, it was his own name that came to my mind because I have actually been seeing his name on multiple things that they've been doing from the NOA perspective. Maybe they should replace each other. Maybe they should switch. Make Larry they tell the Idris waiting to do for anyway. But that aside, let's move the mic. We have some new speakers. I don't know who wants to speak because all of you are keeping a hand down. I'm not a magician. I cannot read your minds. But let's hear from Uncle Justice just because I've not heard his voice today. Then we'll go to Uncle Daniel because I've not heard his voice also. And we'll come back to Emo Truth because I've heard his voice plenty times. So, Uncle Justice, if you are there, please take the mic.
Justice has spoken already now.
Okay. You know,
Mr.
see me,
Daniel
I
has not
come late.
spoken.
So now different me, I never hear some people. So Uncle
Mr.
Daniel,
Daniel is
please.
next.
Danny boy. Danny boy, please have the mic, sir.
Yeah, okay. Thank you very
How
much.
can you say Danny boy then now say sir after the sentence? Need respect, I swear. Don't mind Dr. Manager, sir.
Yeah, no wahala. So basically, the service chiefs, what happened to them, or what we have seen, is just a confirmation that the coup, the rumor was not a rumor. You understand? Though people have suspected that there was something that was amiss before anyway, but that just shows that it was not a rumor. And that they removed some people does not mean they are complicit. It's just a normal practice. When there's, an attempt is seen as a breach. So when they do the investigation, they might just say, okay, even if their heads are not complicit, they just see that, oh, maybe there's a breach somewhere. Maybe they've carried out an investigation and say, okay, maybe the breach is here and all that, and they will have to do what they have to do. So reshufflement is usually, how can I say? It's expected. It's actually expected. They retire people. Sometimes they redeploy. They do all those things, because the threat is always imminent, especially when you have discovered that there's an attempt. You won't assume that, oh, let me just look away and go to bed. And when you look at what happened, the person from DMI was for me. It's the intelligence people that actually found, where everything that was, they were the one that found it out. So they might just see a need to just, reshuffle, redeploy people, remove certain people, and of course the CDS. Removing the CDS, replacing him with the COS. They might not want to leave the others there, the chief of naval and chief of army, because those three were like mates. So if you elevate the other, you want to retire the other so that you bring the juniors that are lower to him in rank. Just normal military, military stuff. So, it does not essentially mean that the people that were removed were complicit or they were involved. Also, sometimes they might also want to retire them so that they can have, comprehensive investigation, because sometimes you cannot even investigate people while they are in their office. But even if that is not there, sometimes they just do some of all these things to ensure there's not a repeat, because when there's a coup like that, that means there's a crack somewhere, that's the way it is seen. There's a breach, there's a crack somewhere, test of loyalty here and there. So it's not. I think this just confirms that something happened, and maybe the CDS was not aware. Because sometimes too they want to ask, okay, well, okay, you are the head, you didn't know, because definitely they will remove some of those people will be X'd now. So maybe that's why they just said, okay, let some people go and rest, put some new people there, and they're still going to change. In fact, even beyond this, they are still going to redeploy people. They are going to carry some people, put them here. We might even still have some other retirement. So usually, some of these things accompany all this. If there's an attempt and it is unsuccessful, it will happen. Even if they've not even attempted it at all and they found it out, it will happen. Except maybe assuming it's the CDS himself that unraveled it or something. There must be some information, that the intelligence, because that the DMI, the person in the Directorate of Military Intelligence, was retained. That says a lot. So it's not me. I don't really see it as something unusual. For me, it just confirms that something actually happened. That's all. Thank you. Njenje, are you there? I can't even hear Njenje.
I can hear you. I'm on Nigeria, nobody can hear you. I can see your hand waving though.
Okay. Since I can't hear
Can I
Njenje.
go on? Can I go on?
Who is that?
Omologo new.
Okay. Omologo, you go after Etika. Etika, I accept
Okay, no
Etika before you.
problem. No,
Etika.
okay, because I was here before. I just went to list. I was in a meeting.
Let him go, please.
Okay, he said you should go. You can go.
Thank you so much. Thank you. So that's another dimension. I've been here before, but anyway, good afternoon to everybody again. That's another dimension that Mr. Daniel just brought in. I just saw that really they didn't. The president didn't remove the defense intelligence boss, so it says a lot. Truly, probably the man is doing his job. So why remove him when he's doing a good job? So if he has his ears on ground and is gathering the right intelligence, so why remove him? There's no point. So that also might be a pointer to maybe there was a plan or something. Some people were just disgruntled. It might just not be a plan. Maybe some people were not taking order according to the military, because that's the official. But some people were just disgruntled and all of that. So he needs to also flag it, So that's on that perspective. But I wanted to also, if the minders of the president are here, I wanted them to also get somebody who can man the border properly. For me, I've been saying maybe they should redeploy Marwa to what's the name of that department? Is it custom? Who are the people in charge of the border? I think it's custom that is in charge of the border. So I'm not sure that's border.
Border patrol.
Border patrol.
Customs
Custom. So maybe custom or immigration, I don't know. So, but whoever is in charge, they should find a way to get Marwa, or whoever can do a proper job.
Omologo, where a lot of people criticize Buhari from bringing a general to where custom.
Sir,
It's
this Peter Obi, I've told you, this Peter Obi, anybody who becomes president of Nigeria and does not give a right of place, I'm not saying an appointment for Peter Obi, Peter Obi will remove that person from office in another election. Mark my words.
So are you saying this same wave?
This same wave will not
can
stop.
be repeated.
This same wave, this Peter Obi, the people supporting him, the Peter Obi that I know, after this general election, they will continue.
Even though the next cycle of elections is in 4 years.
I'm telling you, those guys.
Okay, customs now the Ministry of Finance. So immigration is still under Ministry of Interior. Immigration is the one in charge of, stopping movement of human beings. Customs is in charge of managing movement of goods, services. So immigration is our major issue. It's under Olubomi Tunji. So as much as he has done well on passport issue, this one still also of his purview as he's the president's representative in that department. But I wanted to talk on what Mr. Daniel said. Mr. Daniel came, and Mr. Daniel is a big fish somehow. So the moment he came and he talked on this issue, I saw the request come up, and I'm like, oh, Mr. Daniel has come up well in this fire. But I also wanted to point out something. If Tinubu is really the political Machiavellian, this narcissist, this psychopath that people believe he is, evil genius and all that. And saying the coup happened, wasn't that an opportunity for him to use to, do a very deep purge and clear opposition? Look at what Erdogan did in Turkey, right? Many people even believe that he staged the coup himself, the attempted coup himself, just to be able to, clear road, put everybody for prison. Because a coup is a valid reason to, take extraordinary measures, which is what they call martial law or state of emergency or whatever you want to, right? And those things happen. So maybe we should reassess that our opinion of President Tinubu that, he's some kind of evil genius that will take advantage of anything as long as help him politically or stuff like that. As the man is actually a man of conscience, he's handling this matter very professionally, keeping it quiet. He could have made a big deal out of it and used it to oppress the opposition. But he's intentionally keeping it quiet and trying to act like nothing happened. And even the opposition is the one going to go and pick his eye and say, oh, come and tell us they're cool, and they say, oh, don't use this as opportunity to oppress us. But he's using it as opportunity to oppress you. He's even trying to, tell you that such things don't exist, you don't need to be scared, right? So I think that's a very important thing that we have to look at. That being said, let's move to the night. Let's continue moving the night. Okay, Omoba, did you want to round up this thing before we go forward?
Thank you. So for me, the border must be taken full control. Let me give you a quick example. Currently, Trump is even going to the extreme. If you are coming into America through the boats, that's through the waterway, they don't even take captive. They just bomb the boat right away. If you are coming with drugs into America, is bombing straight. So we must take full control of our borders. There's no two ways about it. There's no two ways, because you keep on just doing firefighting all the time. Oh, somebody went, because all of that. We don't know who is coming in. We don't know who is going out. We don't know who is who. Somebody can just come in from wherever and settle in Lagos and be riding Okada, and you don't know where they came from. So we must take full 100% control. Whether I want to use technology, I thought they were trying to get the Chinese technology one time on border patrol and all of that. So get that technology, or get wherever technology, maybe it's from America, anybody, or from Israel, anywhere. Get that technology, monitor the border fully. This is a job that must be done, and people must have that buy-in. Where some people will still be sitting in Nigeria and still be having sympathy for Niger and Chad, must not be seen. This thing, you're either here or there. You cannot be here and there. So I don't know how that will sound, but it's difficult. we have to just choose where we want to be. Thank you.
Okay, yeah, thank you, Omologo. I don't know who is the next, though, but should I just go with anybody?
Well, we have ethical hacker and
Ethical.
who was the other person that came up? I'm not sure. But ethical came up.
All right, thank you very much. I actually came up to respond to the question of Omo Naija about the Minister of Youth Development. I don't think
I beg, I will take risk.
wait,
Una no.
before we talk. I will be a question to learn. The minister of that ministry was not nobody was replaced. The current minister was also a minister under that ministry, and one was for sport and the other one was for development. Just the minister of state, right? But the ministry was renamed to just Ministry of Youth Development, and the current one happened to be the one that was chosen. That being said, if you go to the ministry Twitter handle, you will see. I think that Ayo, compared to the past minister of youth, I think is kind of more active than the other. Most of the minister of youth in the past have been people in their 60s, in their 50s. Ayo is actually the only youthful minister that I have witnessed in Nigeria, who is just about 36 years old. So if you go to the ministry Twitter handle, you see what they are doing. Ayo recently was at Hunger, where he was presented to UN youth Parliament, advocating for youth inclusiveness in governance. So I think that for me, even though we might not see what he's doing, I mean, he has been compared to others. I will only compare him to others. Yeah, he's not performing to a reasonable level where I was okay, he's doing something tangible, but at least it's kind of visible, and is running some programs that some youths claim that they are benefiting from. I don't know. But I think compared to those old ones that have been appointed, I don't think he's doing badly compared to them. That being said, changing
So
the
I'm getting triggered already. Ethical, just face the topic or the
yeah,
conversation. I don't know
I'm
how.
saying to the topic. All this feedback where they get, who they give you the feedback now? I mean, you don't do one thing.
Let me also say my own part about Ayo.
Yeah.
Me I not talk. Me I just continue. Anyway,
Make I talk on the
me,
topic now.
Ayo will follow me back. Say I don't understand how you are now doing PR for him on the
I'm not
stage.
doing PR for
I
him.
beg.
I just said he's not performing to a reasonable extent that is expected. But I said it's kind of more visible than the previous minister of youth that may have they have been because many of them are always in their 60s and in their 50s. And he's actually the only youth minister that I've seen
No,
in that.
we are not even talking about it anyway.
Okay, so let me
Ethical,
just speak on the
exactly.
yeah, don't worry. Who zoom in on those ministries later? Because I have my own reservation on some of those ministers too. Yeah, so I think what it was done, I mean, the change of the service chiefs was the expected thing to be done, especially after the Rumour, the coup. You need to have a change of guard and everything. And people have said it earlier. All the military formation to be reshuffled. Some people will get transferred to different places.
all the say company and Platon, they are going to be changed. So that is actually normal. You cannot be in an office for a long time or in a unit for a long time. You have to experience every sphere of the military formation. And on the issue of I don't know where some of these new service chiefs were appointed from, but I heard from Passion that is balanced by region. So I think some of the noise that have been made in the past by the opposition, I think that was settled. Another point I wanted to raise on the issue of border control, all these things. I do believe that as the world is moving, Nigeria should be moving the way the world is moving. And we need to digitalize our security architecture, our military intelligence. I do believe that at this point in time in Nigeria, this thing, we have the NIN. Then everybody must have that NIN. But this NIN, are they being used to actually know who is a Nigerian or who is not a Nigerian in some part of this country, you know? Because if we have a digital database with fingerprints, we can be able to track to know who is a criminal. And we have also have a system where we have people having criminal record. We have a database that is kind of public. You can put anybody's name to know if they have even if na Maggie you thief, be able to know if you have any of those records. I mean that would deter people from actually committing any crime because you can easily know when you are hiring or you are doing you want to give contract, you can easily know if this person, even up to the issue of divorce or marriage, everything digitalized, and you have maybe we call it social security number here, but NIN, I think that is what is Nigeria on. You can put people NIN on the system and you can pull out every of the information, including where they work, where they live. People have address. I mean, the state governors need to have this address system that is also digitalized. People living in places that you don't even know where the name of those streets are. When people are able to have postal code, you can pull up any street name where somebody live, even if it's underground. You can be able to track them by those postal code. And so the Ministry of what's the name of that boy from Ogun State, that is communication. They need to have a lot of work to do in making this possible. That way you can also fight crime, fight insecurity. And I have my what I want to say. People may not agree. If you have transversed the north very well, you will know that there is a place in a town close to Daura that is just a gutter, a that divides them and Niger Republic. These are places where people come in with Okada, with bike into Nigeria unrestricted. So I mean this, and there is another place in Kebbi too, with the same border Niger Republic. If you have those places porous, and people they are telling you that those the other side they are their brother, they are their family, they are Kiniko, and they are defending them. We cannot have a cohesive security system. Whereas the ones in the south, you won't allow a Benema to get in easily, who is also have a brother or sister in a part of Ogun State. So I do believe that the the custom or immigration, if all these database are centralized, then is shared among the different departments and also share with foreign partners, it will definitely reduce the insecurity problem, and will help us to when you have your fingerprint everywhere, somebody, you put just a fingerprint and they see that you know, or is not terrorist. You can, but if you have people who just come into the country as they like, and they think that because they have a brother here who will protect them because they speak the same language, then we are just on a long shot for this security problem. Thank you very much.
Okay, yeah, thank you, Ethica.
Easy. Let me quickly say, call attention. Nobody is mentioning him. There is a piece of great news happened to Nigeria today. Nigeria is no longer on the watch list again for financial improprieties. So, yeah, I'm trying to put it. I'm trying to put the story on the job bottom.
Oh, okay, yeah, thank you, Mr. Bamidele. Yeah, let's take Chief.
Is that me?
Yeah, Chief Ayodele, go ahead.
Okay, all right. Easy. How are you? You all recall that on that day when the issue of the coup was mentioned, you will recall that some of us did mention that there is more to that coup and we should be expecting you should be expecting the president to take action if there's more to it. So, and I still want to tell you, watch out. There is still more to it. You will still be reading more news. Because in security, if there are some things, we are not saying that the guy is involved in anything, but there are some things that will happen under your leadership. Then you will now be your I don't want to say loyalty. I mean, your leadership will now be subjected to questioning, which sometimes can be embarrassing. You understand? So I think this is what is happening, and we're still gonna be hearing more as time goes on. You know, I think there is more to this. And for those who are saying they sack this, they don't sack this, they retire this, you will recall that in 2023 or so, that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu did retire some, you know, service chiefs as well, armed forces and all of that. So when things like this happen, actions are bound to, you know, to come up. So the president has, carry out what he needs to do. So let's see the change. But I don't know how those people are going to do it. But I think it's a necessary thing. Something has happened. We don't know yet. But there is a side me I'm looking at. Those guys, what happened? They have been questioned and they've given statement. So their statement must have led to something. Lapses, negligent, you know, lack of supervision, a lot of things. So if that loophole is there, that means the president himself is at risk. The security of the nation is at risk. So the leadership of the man is not in question. And I think that's one of the reasons. And that's my own opinion. That's the way I'm saying it. I still want to know. I wish I can see the statement of those guys. I wish tomorrow they can come out to say yes, this is what really happened. Because I am still thinking others may still be at large. We'll see what happens. So what will happen later. So let's keep watching. So we just sit down here. I come up here to just come and remind us that some of us see it beyond what we are saying, that they need to do this. Maybe this is what happened with all the narrative. No. When coup happen like this, a lot of people are involved. A lot of people. Not 10, not 20. Some will not even be aware. that they are involved in that coup. You may sit down in your post and somebody will stylishly tell you, what do you even think about 1966 coup? How do you find it? Do you think that would have helped the nation? In having that discussion, that person is trying to know your opinion. Omo Naija, you are raising up your hand. Am I to stop? I can. Shaking duro ni. Omo
Yeah, go
Naija.
ahead, sir.
Okay, I can see it now. So there are different ways they can use to get people involved in situation like Omo Naija ti jabo. So there are a lot of things going on, and we are hoping that we'll get to the root of this thing.
Andy,
Yes, a
don't
lot
take
of people
another
are
one then.
a lot of
Don't take
people
another one.
they are tampering with the effort
You think you take your
of
back.
the president.
Put it back
Yes,
now.
internally at this point, at this time.
Come,
Yes,
take it for it.
internally, some people are doing that, and I won't be surprised the reason why the other person, I forgot his name, was not removed. Maybe they were the one that detect the whole thing. Well, I'll leave it at that. Good evening. Thank you, Easy.
Just say Koroba, Koroba, just make a Koroba,
Hello.
Koroba.
Yeah, good evening.
Yes.
Hello, good evening, everyone.
Okay, Andy, well, come. You move down. Come and take a shower. No, come and take a shower now.
Hello. Can I speak?
Yeah, Mr. Philip, go ahead. Hold on, come on.
Can I speak now?
Yeah,
Okay, now come.
hold on. Let's hear Mr. Tunde.
Yeah. Hello. Am I audible?
Yes,
Yeah.
we
All
hear
right.
you.
Go ahead.
All right. Thank you. Yeah. So, good day to everyone. Hope you guys are well. So, can I just say something? Okay, let me start with this. There's this misconception that I'm getting feedback. Someone mic is on. I don't know. I'm getting feedback. So there's this misconception that when did that coup broke out? There's this misconception that it was only Sahara reporters that reported it. That's false. PM News broke the news as well. PM News broke the news as well. And PM News is a credible source. It is a credible, because when that news first broke out, what I did was, from Sahara Reporter, I went to Google. I checked. I realized that it was only Sahara reporters that reported it. So I said to myself, you know what? You can't trust Sahara reporters. Let me leave it. Then I think, if not the same
Okay,
day,
come.
I think it was the following day. The following day, PM News now reported it. That's when I said to myself,
Okay,
you know
so
what?
Uncle Tunde,
Yeah,
that PM news reporting, was it a new report, different evidence, or was it exactly what Sarah reporters reported
yes,
that they
about the coup.
reported?
Yeah, similar. Yeah,
Yeah, so it
similar,
was
but obviously not
exactly
word for
what
word, but
Sarah.
similar. Hello?
If you look at it, it's actually word for word in a lot of places, right? They were literally reporting.
For
Me, sir,
it to be
this Peter
negotiated.
Obi, I've told you, this Peter Obi, anybody who becomes president of Nigeria and does not give a right of place, I'm not saying an appointment for Peter Obi, Peter Obi will remove that person from office in another election. Mark my words.
So are you saying this same wave
This same wave will not
can be
stop.
repeated?
This same wave, this Peter Obi, the people supporting him, the Peter Obi that I know, after this general election, they will continue.
That's a credible source, right? So my point is this. Then later that evening, then we heard that 16 soldiers were arrested because were arrested due to professional misconduct, something like that. Then I said to myself, hold on, there has to be some element of truth in this. It must be. Then I started following the news. Then what's it called? Because that reminded me what Maxillian said 2 weeks ago on Tolu Ogunlesi, is it Ogunlesi or Ogunlesi, space, that when he said we have to give credit to Obasanjo for retiring a lot of political soldiers. I've never looked at it that way. As soon as he said it, as soon as Maximum said it, that's when it dawned on me. That's when I said to myself, you know what? This man is right, you know. He's right. So now I'm looking at this stuff, this military shakeup, this military by Jagaban. I'm very happy with it. Very happy. But to be honest with you, these guys are very desperate. They are very, very. Anybody that grew up in the 80s, 90s, if you follow, especially that forex, these exchange rates, black market. Honestly speaking, I would say in my lifetime, this is the first time that we see ever since Jagaban emerged as a president, ever since he's been in the office. I would say this is my first time seeing the black market and the official rate, like the margin is not as big as the way it used to be like back in the days. This is my first. I have to be honest, and you could tell that a lot of people are benefiting from this. There's some people, honestly speaking, they're so angry with this government. So they want to try it in a democratic way. See that they've realized that the person that they are dealing with is miles ahead of them, countering their political ways. Now they want that stuff to be they want it to come to reality through the military way. I'm telling you this. See, I remember one time I was doing the summer. So in Europe, in UK, summertime. So even a Muslim on longer day in summer, we have longer days and shorter night, right? So the morning prayer, Friday prayer comes like after 3 in the morning, right? So sometimes when I wake up to pray, and I join space, I join like few spaces. There are some people that there's a particular guy on few occasions. The guy is from it's from northern part, like Okeoya. Yeah, Okeoya. Let me use what's it called? Akitola, the way Akitola called North Okeoya. Let me use yeah. So it's from Okeoya. The guy said twice. I've listened to the guy on different spaces. The guy very eloquent. The guy said there are some certain things that like Jagaban is trying to rearrange. And those certain there's some positions Jagaban is operating. There's some positions that like you don't really see people from the southern part of Nigeria occupying these positions, right? That there's some things that is very, very strange. That I'm getting feedback. What's going on? Okay, so there are some certain positions, right? There's some certain positions. Those positions, they pretty much those positions are occupied by like not by some northerners. Like I won't say it's not central. I would say called northerners. There are these positions, right?
For Mr. Tunde,
Yes. Yes.
That is not. If we look at the issue that happened maybe in the space of 1 week or so, we can't possibly say that that is one of the. We can. I can't say. You can't say that that is one of the reasons why there is
You mean the shake-up? You mean the military shake-up?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes,
so
yes.
Easy. Do you think things happen for the sake of it? Do you think something can happen for the sake of it? You don't believe in Newton's law of motion. For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. You think things happen for the sake of it? You think so? You think that's how life is? There's a reason for this military shake-up. There's a reason. Believe you me, there's a reason for this shake-up.
But one of the reasons we all maybe hear or from our own from what we are followed with is at least a kind of there's a true evidence that maybe a coup wants to happen, and
Yes.
that is one of the reasons why many of us would easily see it like a rejig in that particular strategy.
Because of that, it's one of the reasons why we have that shake-up. One of the reasons why one of the reasons why we're having this military shakeup. Is one of the reasons, isn't it? You can't dismiss it. You can't dismiss it, right? I know some people.
Because I believe at least I've listening to the opposition speak on this issue, and they also see that reason why the president had a shake up immediately on that side. Because I've been waiting for the narrative to spin off to how many of our Twitter people usually do when it comes to forming a kind of agenda. But I've not seen that in real time. But what I've seen is that
carry on.
Yeah, what I've seen is just people commending the president and acting fast to issues that he immediately see some kind of sign somewhere, and he immediately take that emergency shake up within the space of
Being proactive.
being proactive within the space of can we say 1 week or 2 week, or I don't know how long. I think when people were talking about it, they were saying I think that taking a month or so. But
so the good thing is that the president we have is not naive. That's the good thing. It's not naive. So let me quickly say. Let me digress a little bit. I'll round up now. I'll land my plane. Let me just digress a little bit. I was watching about a few months ago, about 3-4 months ago, Edmond Obilo interviewed Chief Bisi Akande, right? I watched the whole episode, the whole interview. So now there was one part where he said, where Chief Bisi Akande said, when Obilo must have asked him one question. So I'm paraphrasing. So his response was to that particular question. He said, Tinubu is ignorant of Nigerian politics. So Obilo now said, how can Jagaban Tinubu? How can he be ignorant of Nigerian politics? Jagaban, the one that master strategies, this and that. And he said, that he can know about American politics, this and that, but that doesn't mean that that I'm pretty sure now that he's in the office in the House of Rock, there are some things that he wasn't aware of that he's finding out now. So when he said that, when Chief Bisi Akande said that, I was like, wow. Obviously, Chief Bisi Akande knows Jagaban very well, more than a lot of people on this space, right? So I was like, wow, that's a food for thought. Interesting. So why am I saying this? I'm saying this because, right, that, like I said earlier, the good thing is, right, the man is not politically naive. It's not, right? He's on top of his game, right? And I know that there are some people, they're so bitter, so hungry. I'm telling you, you see this stuff that just happened, I want guys to start paying attention towards 2027. That election is going to be ruthless. I'm telling you guys, it's going to be ruthless, right? It's going to be ruthless because those guys, they will do whatever it takes to come back, and it won't happen for them. It won't. Inshallah, they will never come back, right? But they will do whatever it takes to come back. Anyway, that's my 2 cents. Thanks a lot. I appreciate it. Thanks.
okay, yeah, thank you. Okay, let's go with
Easy. I
Naija.
have a question I want to add,
Naija, hold on.
just a general question.
Can you see one request? I don't know if Big Girl can see the request. You hear me?
No, I cannot see it. I can't see it. The question I want to ask
I
is
didn't see any
general,
request.
anybody can answer it. I want to just ask, what do you people think is the implication that 4 people's names were in that document? 2 were sacked, 1 was retained in his position, 1 was promoted. Make una look am well o, make una check those names, check the names again and again, back and front. Only 2 were
Naija,
sacked, 1 was
sacked.
promoted. Yes,
Where is the
2 were
document?
sacked.
Where is the
2
document?
were sacked. It's on the jumbotron now, the first thing that is shared. 2 were sacked.
The
1 was
intelligence chief was
promoted.
left.
and one was left. Yes, the chief of defense intelligence was left in his position. The chief of army staff was promoted to chief of defense staff. The chief of naval staff and chief of air staff were sacked. I hope that's context, and then I hope in future people add that context to their submissions, what they think that could also mean. Uh, let's go to Uncle Adelanwa, Mr. Adelanwa. Uncle sounds too small for this, my uncle. Anyways, Uncle Adelanwa, please go ahead, sir.
I think you have some people here before me. I don't know if they want to speak.
So they know raise hand now, and I cannot read people's minds.
Why Chief Otis Soro, Chief one be by Lateco.
No, Chief.
Okay.
Yeah, Chief. Yes, all protocols observed. I think there was a guy who was speaking about how our border is in the north. He was making reference to Daura and some places. I think probably has not gone around. Every of our border is porous. The one in the south, whether you go to Shaki or you go to Ibukia. In fact, there are a lot of people from Benin Republic who schooled in Nigeria, attended our universities free. Some of them even carry our passports. And the issue is not because our government is weak. It's because land border all over the world is most difficult to police. It's not just, especially when you are surrounded by poor nations. The only part of the world where America share land border with a relatively poor country, they are struggling to police it. In fact, they are building a wall. Despite the wall, they are still climbing it. UK is an island. Despite that, people are still putting canoe, ferry on that, risking their life to tell you how desperate people can be. Not to talk of us that have the land border where we are the biggest economy, and also, that is, it's not just in the north. No, it's just around the country. So pointing to the north is not, very fair. Coming to the coup, unfortunately, it's a risk business, but still, people still take that risk because of the price. It's, in most cases, there are ways that it's not always watertight. The first coup of 1966, the British Prime Minister then told Tafawa Balewa, in fact, he offered him an asylum. Tafawa Balewa waved it that he rather died in this country. A day before the coup, Chief Akintola went to Ahmadu Bello. That good. What I'm hearing is not nice. There's going to be, say, forget about it. Is it not Kaduna Zoo? Are they not here? What would they be looking? Not knowing that these are really so so not every of this coup is a rumor. So unfortunately, there is no government that will come out and admit it. Even during the military, they will tell you, no, it's a rumor. But subsequently, we'll be seeing heads rolling, like what's happened now with this reshuffle and all of that.
But Mr. Adilawa, sorry for cutting it. Looking at what Mr. Bayo Nonuga posted, it's clearly written all over the tweet from that particular post. Or is it me that I'm reading another thing to it?
Yeah, of course. It is not impossible, and there's there's possibility for people to have their own innuendos and what have you. But one thing that I'm worried about is that we are still vulnerable to this madness. Unfortunately, it shows that we are still very, very, and this has nothing to do with this Yoruba man that is there. No, there are ambitious guys everywhere, either as politicians and as military, and people who have the advantage of a barrel of a gun have a super advantage. And looking at our history, I think it is important for the president to find a way, to make sure that most of their tools that will be needed for this kind of things are not stored in a particular area, because that is one of the things that Babangida did, that when he was lucky enough to get through that coup d'etat, he moved all of this equipment, scattered them,
making sure that it's not in one area, because the one that is survived really shocked him. And that is why he left Abacha behind when he was retiring. Everyone, just to say a big thank you to him. So the president needs to do a lot to make sure that we are not. There are people there, who thinks they can. They are smart. They can. Unfortunately, it's very difficult now, though. That is the most difficult part of it. Out of every coup that happened in Nigeria, probably it is only one or two, that did not leak. The coup that removed Buhari had about it. The coup that removed Shagari, he had about it. In fact, Shagari was told. In fact, the people who are planning it, in fact, he called them that, guys, why are you planning? Why are you thinking? It was quite funny. So because there is no way.
So,
Sorry?
Mr. Dilawa, from what you say now, can we say that maybe I don't want to cook any conspiracy theory, because Nigeria is already doing that by trying to maybe say that the one that was retained maybe is the one that leaked, or so. I don't know. Maybe I'm just the one
No, I
overthinking.
not talk anything. No, I just say make I ask question. Let people tell us what they think
No,
about
it is
that.
not.
Fact of the matter as well. That one was promoted, one was retained, and two were sacked.
Yeah,
People
it
can
is not.
interpret it however they
No,
like.
it is not impossible. Honestly, we can all speculate, but it is not impossible that these things happen. And unfortunately, coup is not just what you can do on your own. Either you like it or not, you have to trust some people. So among those people that you think that you are trying to trust, some of them will leak your information, because a lot of these things gets to the heart of British government, American government, and all of how, because somebody, somewhere along the way. So it's difficult to make it a watertight. There has never been except one, the one that Baghdad survived. That was one of the few. That was what. The rest, there would be rumor here and there, there and there. So let's just hope and pray that we find a way to go around this madness, because it is not a solution. Those of us who have experienced it knew that, or knows that it's not a solution. They are just a bunch of mad people who will come after 6 months. Then they will start what they call like a buffet of corruption. They will open the till for everybody they know that come and eat as much as you can. So it's never a solution. So anybody you're thinking that no, it is not. No matter the rubbish our governors, no matter Chief Awolowo said the worst of democracy is better than the best of military rule. If we see what these our governors are doing, despite their incompetency, are 1,000,000% better than military administrators. 1,000,000%. Because they are aware of election is coming, and they have to go back to the people. That is in their consciousness and making them to do one of this. But during military, nothing. They will just start probably one road that leads to the secretariat, invite over here and there, give people who knows them, and that's it. And nothing will be happening. So don't let us pray for it.
Oluwaizi, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. So, okay, I don't know who is in next, but let me just go with Oluwa Tigbemigaya. Oluwa Tigbemigaya, you there?
So easy guys are oh tí mi ò kí chief lẹ́kàn chief ẹ má bínú jàre olóyè lè wà lórí kíní ká bá tiẹ̀ ṣe
Ṣé ń gbọ́? Wọ́n fẹ́ tì ní kànga.
bí ìjẹ́ kí n sábà fi gbé ní alábàdàn.
Ẹ fò lọ ọbẹ̀ tẹ́ bá ti lọ Nàìjà o, ẹ ní dààmú.
Big girl, please, you can see that one request. Let me bring the request up. I'm not with my other.
I'm not seeing any request.
Okay. Please, if anybody is requesting, maybe they should tell the DM. Go ahead. We can hear.
Okay. Good evening. Okay, good evening, everyone. And it's a very interesting thing and very exciting thing to see the breaking news about the service chiefs that were removed or demoted or retired, so to say. I think that's a very decisive move by the president because even if they are not involved directly, for it to have happened under your leadership, that means something is not right. Okay? At the end, you always go first in any organization, whether it's something like this happening. Because that means you have not been observant enough, or you have not been leading them right enough for them to have trust in the government, or there's some things you are not just doing right for that kind of thing to happen under your nose. Okay? And there's going to be a lot of conspiracy theories coming up with so many things, going by the fact that four people were up, two people were retained, one promoted, one retained, and the other two sacked. So they're going to bring a lot of political, ethnic, religious, and any other thing into this. That will come up later. But I think the president is aware of what he's doing, and heads have to roll. They have to rejig the architecture. Generals or those who are in certain education has to move to be moved around. It's a normal organization structure when there is a kind of mutiny or kind of insubordination happening in the company. I can use my own example. When I was in the call center, we have teams. We are being put into teams of 20. You have a team leader, you have like that. Then, when they notice that a particular team is becoming too cohesive, and you seems like more of like a family that you can all speak in one voice, they will just do a shake up. They will just scatter the whole thing, throw you to different teams, so that before you get to the new team, before you start to gel and have the same kind of bonding, it will take time. Because if you leave people to be together for so long, they will understand themselves so much that in a way that 20 people can just speak in one voice. And if a 20 team of 20 can speak with one voice, they can easily influence other teams to go in that direction. So that is the normal organization shake-up that happens. So this is not just the final thing that's going to happen in the military set of architecture in Nigeria. A lot of people are going to be transferred, move away, some sent abroad, some. It's not going to end like this. There's still a lot of structural reorganization of the whole total military and architecture that's going to go on now, and so many people are going to be under the radar. Okay, so and it's a normal thing that happens, and it's good, and it's better if the president is not being oblivious to this. Like, okay, everything is okay. No, everything is not okay. Even if it's just a rumor, but you have to take it serious. So it's a good thing for our democracy, it's a good thing for our governance, and I think with this now, the new guys who are in the heads of affairs will sit up and they will put their nose in the ground, they will make sure that they man their post properly. Okay? Nobody wants to be disgraced of the office and everything. So and they will do what they're supposed to do, which is protect the nation, protect the constitution and the people of Nigeria. Okay, the military or whatever it is has no space in governance again in Nigeria. We are past that stage, and we pray it will never happen again. Please, for those who are asking for it, those obedient that are asking for it, I doubt many of them have been born in the days of Abasha, where we have to be relying on sawdust as cooking gas and what we went through. And I can still remember vividly the day Abacha died. I was coming from school then. I was in secondary school. Come and see the jubilation on the streets of Nigeria. How everybody were jubilating. So that's to tell you that no, military rule is not the thing. Okay? And we thank God for this. And about the news that broke out about the Nigeria being lifted from or removed from the red list of financial or whatever it is they call it, it's a good news. That is to tell you that the government is doing the right thing. The policies are working. They are fighting corruption the right way. And if we're going this way, I don't see reason why military wants to come into government. Unless some people, like one earlier speaker said, some people are angry about this man doing some things. And it has nothing to do more than two things, two policies only. Subsidy is gone, FS unification. This thing has already drained the cash cow of some people, majorly from the northern part. I have nothing against the northern part, but we know that they are the ones fixing the most on these two policies. They are the ones into FX really, and the ones that have millions of filling gas stations that are not supplying people or supplying the neighboring countries. So there's no one will not finger them in this kind of issue. It's just the truth. It's obvious. So these people are not happy about all this, and they want to remove the man by all means necessary. So it is high time for discerning minds of good citizens of Nigeria now to stand by the man and support him. Make sure that these good things he's doing, though they have their own pain, continues. Because if the policies don't get to the point that they start using, it's just a step forward, two step backward. So it needs to get to the end point for us to get the blessing or dividends of these policies. So I'm employing everyone on this page, please support this man to actualize these policies he has started. We can all see the signals, the signs. All these international bosses are not just bodies are not just removing Nigeria from the red list. It started with IETA, IMF, jet suppliers. Our airlines now can now get dry list or wet list or whatever list they call it. So there's so many things to point to tell you that this man is heading the right direction. So we don't need anybody to come and put cock and bull story for us. If he's not doing it right, we will not be seeing this report. We will not be getting these upgrades. That means he's doing the right thing. So we don't have any cause. Let's support him. Let him do it to the point that yes, we are now solid. Like the way Lagos is solid today. Take a fool and put the person as the governor of Lagos State tomorrow. All he needs to do is just follow the template. The template is already there. Lagos can even go on cruise control. Lagos can self-drive without even a governor. Because the structures are in place. You don't need to do something extraordinary. He started it. Let him put Nigeria on that pedestal too.
Thank you very much, Uncle Oluwatigemiga. But you did not give your opinion or speculation because everybody is speculating now. What is your speculation on why one of the service chiefs was promoted while two were sacked and one was retained in his position?
What I can come up with now, Ashiwaju is not naive and he's a matured man, he's experienced. He must have had his experiences with the service of military and all that. He was once haunted by the military. I think by mere sitting down with them, okay, I will cite this example. There's this boss I had before in one of the companies I work with. I'm on his space. I'm coming. I'm coming. Just give me some minutes. All right. That's my kids. Sorry. So there's this boss I work for before. He wants to meet with you. I was given an advice by the older colleagues I met in the company that when he's talking to you, just look straight to his eyes, give him eye contact. And what I noticed, all these administrators, the ones that are good, or company or CEOs, those who are good, if you notice, every good company, before they hand you an employment, most of them will tell you your final interview will be with the CEO. The reason being that these people have the capacity to read body language. There's something they will ask from you. That's the way you answer, the way you move your body, your eye, and everything. They will tell them, this is the right guy. This is not the right guy. You understand? So he must have sat with them, go through, kind of interrogate them, not the forceful way, or speak some things to them. The body language will give it up. There's no way. There's no way he give it up. And he must have seen that, okay, the only one I can trust now, or the two that I can still trust now, because it's all about trust. If you can't trust your service chief, you are as good as dead. Because these are the people that control your weaponry, they control your architecture, they control who defends who, they control stays where. So if you can't trust them, trust me, you are dead. You are gone. So he needs to put someone that he feels that he's safe with. That is the only theory I can come up with. It has nothing to do with tribe or ethnicity or anything. It has something, the only thing that has to do with, can I trust this guy? And if I can't trust this guy, he cannot be my service chief. It's as simple as that. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I would like to hear the opinions or some of my uncles from the other side, Uncle Dankala, Uncle Nimsi, what they think about this shake-up of the military establishment, what they think are the motivations behind it, and what they think will be the impact or reactions that will come of it. And also they can join us in doing more of the dear parlor stuff that we've been doing by speculating things that we don't have any evidence on. So Uncle Nimsi, Uncle Dantala, and all my other friends from the other side, my uncles in the Obedient and ABC camp, you are welcome to this newspaper stand. Join us as we discuss
You say
national
your
issues.
uncle for your Omo your uncle for Propaganda Republic.
Oh no no no! When I see Uncle Ayo, I'll call him by his name. These ones are not Uncle Ayo. Uncle Ayo has a special place in my heart with that title. Don't worry, when he comes, we'll talk more about that one. So Uncle Dantala, Uncle Nimsi, and all the other obedience, and AAC and the AGC, and all the other people that are in this country. That's generally are always disagreeing with what the people that are on this speaker section are generally always saying. Let's hear you, let's get your opinions, let's see whether we can agree today, right? Because maybe every day we could disagree, maybe some of our speculations are the same, maybe some of you are thinking along the same lines as us, maybe some of you have some of the same questions that some of us have. Like me, I think it's a very reasonable and important question. Why sack some and promote some, right? Or promote one, So it makes it look very somehow. Uh, I don't mean somehow in a bad way. It's just somehow. Somehow means somehow. This is the question. Yeah. So as I was just saying, I want to hear you people's opinions. Some people say the president taking people out that it is because time, since Nigeria, some positions have been relegated to some regions. I don't know. Do I agree with that? Do I think that's why the president made his switches? Some people say, oh, it is because of the rumors of coup, and that this Tinubu validates those rumors of coup. Okay, that's fine. Some people are entitled to those opinions. Some people are also saying, oh, it is, the fact that the military has not been able to tackle insecurity as expected, and so this is a performance based rejigging. Some people have even said that this is going to be a preamble to a deeper and more thorough review of ministers in the country, right? Cabinet reshuffle. So I hope we can get plenty opinions on all those things, all those possibilities, and just rub our minds together and see what is best for this country. Uncle Moba, please go ahead. Let's hear you. If you want to speak, please raise your hand so it will be easy for me to know who to assign the mic to. So as you come up, please raise your hand so that we'll
I'm on
appoint
Nigeria.
you to speak.
I came up to ask a question.
Yes, sir.
Now you've used the word sacked. Is there any evidence to show some people were sacked?
Maybe my choice of words may not be the best. I don't claim to be perfect, but they were relieved of their duties. If that is more acceptable to the crowd,
Okay.
two were relieved of their duties. One was promoted, and one was maintained in his current role.
Naija, I think there's
Yes, sir.
a balance to the man. Malam Suleiman just came up. I don't know if he wants to speak.
Yes,
Malam
Malam
Suleiman?
Suleiman Lawan.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has
Oh, he
dropped the
left
mic.
again. Okay.
Atiku, say Atiku. Malam Suleiman, don't be scared. I know some of these voices you are
We are
hearing
friendly
here.
here. We don't attack people. We
Uncle
don't attack
Eli,
people.
wait, he first see. Your voice, they part of waiting the pursue am. You don't know. This your voice is very strong. People will hear your voice, they'll think, if I come here, this man will press my neck. So they'll run away very quickly. So Uncle Lawan, don't mind Uncle Ele. He's a
Oh,
kind
oh,
man, he's a
Gbadun.
caring man. It's just that his voice is cracking and is loud. So you think he's aggressive, but he's not aggressive. He's a kind, he's a loving, he's a caring man. You take care of you as a friend. So please come. Uncle Ele will accommodate you. He's a very good host. Get prepared. So I know it's Uncle Ele's voice that is portraying all of you people, Uncle Dantala and Co. You know, but don't worry, Uncle Ele, he's a changed man. He doesn't need to press people's neck again, and so on and so forth. Abi, Uncle Ele, ṣé mo parọ́ mọ́ yín? You are a repentant artist. You don't need to press people's neck again.
So me, I don't press people's neck. I only tell you this. I only tell you the truth.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. You see, so as you people can see, my Uncle Eli has confirmed it. He's repentant. He doesn't press people's neck again. Just tell you the truth. So please come, let's enjoy this conversation. But I think for me, in a more serious note, I don't think it is necessary to speculate on a lot of these things, to be honest. Like, other than the fact that it is just a pastime, like, it's just something we do and we pass the time with. It's not even healthy to be speculating on many of these things, right? If the government say there is no coup, me, I'm one of those people that will just, stick to the government side of the story and say, yes, there's no coup. Let's move on with our life, right? Anything they are doing, they say they are forging insubordinate military members, then that is what they are doing. If they say they are shuffling the service chiefs due to performance, then that is what they are doing. If they say they are shuffling them to achieve strategic aims and objectives to bring down insecurity, then that is what they are doing. Me, I don't have energy to ṣàlàyé or explain or guess what? Something wey I no know, right? So in a
Omo
lot of
Naija,
situations where we have to
Omo
guess,
Naija, Omo Naija,
sir.
you dey find X abi Jagaba don play you don stand on your neck. You come dey find you dey find the YDS. Anyway, I've been here and at the same time listening to people talk about this situation, and I think I've been on the timeline trying to see the narrative that could be drawn from this whole rejig of this service chief, but I think people are out of touch and they don't even know where to come from. Maybe um, they would find their toe tomorrow, their feet tomorrow, and cook up some conspiracy theory. Okay, people like Dan Tola coming up to do his propaganda. Let's hear him. I think it would be the best fit to at least let's listen to what they have been talking in their own um, space. Dan Tala.
I beg nobody, make nobody interject am. I
Give
beg. I
give
take
us a
up
second,
beg
Father.
now. Make nobody interject am.
Give us a second. Cut more for salary. Don't give 30 seconds.
Okay, thank you very much, Uncle Dantala. You see, I am so happy that you took the mic. Don't mind Uncle Easy that say you want to push propaganda. I mean that I invited you here. I invited you as a special guest of honor. Don't worry, it's not my space, so this is just nominal special guest of honor. If the space host begs for you, I don't feel say you. But for the time being, you are a good guest. You are here for us, and we are here for you, my uncle. So I will be very happy if you can give us some insight into your opinions on these matters before us today. As the matter they hot before it cold, the news just come out, e never reach 2 to 3 hours. So let's get those opinions as they hot. That's why they call it hot take. So Uncle Dantala is left to the library, is disconnected from library Wi-Fi. Oh yeah, connect to your mobile data and come back. Don't drop. Connect to your mobile data and come back up. Data like say 30 seconds. Small make I collect my help you manage the 30 seconds before you go come back. You don't go use and drop microphone now. What am I supposed to be doing on the mic until you come back? Uncle Dantala.
You see, say now these people, if these people no cook us something, how our market want take sell? So that's just
We don't see one of my other uncle as well. Talks of the North. I've not seen this account before, but just because you put the North in your name
Oh, now
and
this
you
guy.
claim to be representing or trying to speak the voice of the North, I followed you so that we can collaborate and bring better things, out for this country through collaboration. So, Uncle, the North talks or talks of the North. Good afternoon. How are you doing today, sir?
Yeah, you can hear me now?
Uncle Dantala, you're back. Oh, yeah, we'll go for you first before we go to the North talks.
Okay.
Yes, please go ahead and give us your opinions on all these hot gist.
All right, thank you. When the news of military takeover of Nigerian government came in, I was very skeptical about it. I didn't believe the news. I felt it was one of the purview of this government of trying to divert attention of Nigerians when issues at stake is being brought before them, particularly when Tinubu cascaded his power beyond and without reasonable justification for pardoning people that were criminals and were convicted and they were hardened. And there's nothing justifying their pardoning in any sense, in my opinion. However, that's that. So I thought that was the reason why they brought the news out, sincerely. When I first saw it on Sarah Reporter News. Now, what happened today actually give credence to it that there's something actually going on in the military. What happened today actually is a great concern for Nigerians, particularly for myself, that believe that no matter how bad Tinubu is, we can remove him, but we can't remove a military officer. We can't vote against him. We can't vote for him. We can still be using our Twitter. You tell us you don't use Twitter. Your life, your right to be abridged. The fourth constitution of Nigeria will be completely removed from you. And a lot of things can happen in the military era. In the civilian era, no matter how bad Tinubu is, there's things he cannot do. He cannot stop us from protesting, one of them. So that's just how it is. That's how I felt, first of all, when I saw the news this afternoon. So, but my challenge with this government is this. There's no punishment of crime, right? Anybody who wants to topple government of Nigeria against section 2, already Tinubu has said that I failed in applying section 2 of the Constitution of Nigeria that state that to take over power from Nigeria in Nigeria it must do in accordance with the Constitution of Nigeria. And there's no place that President Tinubu has the power to declare state of emergency and is still reiterating what it is. So if the military want to do so, the same thing that Tinubu did against the law is what it's presumed to have alleged to be going on to that extent. Now, you may say, oh, these are issues. It is just people in the north. I think people who must be able to exercise their mind beyond people in the north and all that, right? Let's not limit our search in one area. I think very well that if there's anybody that have committed or intend to commit crime in Nigeria of treasonable felony in Nigeria is a capital punishment. And I don't think anybody, no matter how big or how much of Nigeria, is a capital punishment and should be able to do so. Last week, I watched a court martial was when a person was committed to death for his actions, right? For killing another person, a civilian. So I think that if possible, the government should be able to report to us and tell us what is going on. That's why they are government, is to report to Nigerians what is going on. First, is that if there's a coup, for instance, I did not see from the hand of Mr. Onaba, Chief Press Secretary, or any of the government officials saying anything of such, right? So that I didn't believe it in the first place. So I felt they should be able to bring it for